What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. This is a new edition of the Roundtable Rumble. As you can tell, some familiar faces and some new faces as well. Y'all all know me because you hear me every week a couple times. So let's go from there and see who else is in the room.
Scott Larson from Hashtag Truth. Right now, hashtag is down. All my fans know that right now. But come January, I'm going to be bringing out a new podcast, so be looking for it.
I'm Majestic Marie from Peaches and Power Bombs and the Real Wrestling Community Tailgate Party. Nice to see everybody.
Yeah, my name is Elliot, recently dubbed Popston. I am the host of the Lowdown Popcast with Shane and Elliot every Wednesday at 7 a.m.
Fantastic. I've been listening to your show when I was traveling to Florida and back, and then whenever I ride to work, it takes away a good bit of that vein of driving on 85. So appreciate it. Oh man, so crazy couple of weeks we've had in professional wrestling, no?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Everything from the McMahon mess to the new rise in Triple H and the returns coming to WWE, the returns from injury coming to AEW, NWA showing off and showing out in different locations, including right here locally in Charlotte. Man, we had Ric Flair's last match. What was that, a week ago? 10 days ago?
I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that. Yeah. Okay, whatever. His last match.
Man, I was a fan of the show personally.
No. I'm just laughing. I love the whole show. I'm just laughing at that. It's his last match. We know it's not. He's already looking to do another match. So
With Cologne.
Yeah, down in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
He retires like I do.
Yeah. I said it on my show on Sunday. I said, I don't know who retires more, Scott Larson or Ric Flair. It's like every week one of them's retiring or coming back. It's all good, though. I mean, it's all in fun. But the show itself did good business, too. The matches were pretty decent. I caught a good bit of it online. There was some rough spots in Flair's match, but there's rough spots in every match. Oh, Elliot went dark on us.
Nah,
there he is.
I'm rearranging some stuff in my camera. No worries.
Oh, gotcha. Casey Leanne chimed in to say, "What's up, peeps? Oh, we're just sitting down having a BS session about wrestling."
There you go.
We got a couple of more people probably going to jump in here in a bit. But let's see, man. It was pretty cool that they had the Rock and Roll Express and all them cats there. I just got to work with them this weekend. So that was insane. The gathering was this weekend in Charlotte. I'll cover that Thursday. Same with Sundays.
I have to give you props for your video, your live video. After you said everything calmed down, you went through and showed people like me who couldn't show up, and I got to see a few people, so that was cool. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. I'm hoping to be able to do something different next year, but that's got to go through the brass up there, and I'm gonna let them make that determination on if that's something they want to bring to they want to bring some people in and have some live stuff done. I'll sit at the table the whole day and run a podcast, and any random person can come sit down and we'll talk. Like that'd be how wild would that be? Just sit there all day with a podcast that doesn't end.
That's a podcaster's dream, isn't it?
Dude, you want to talk brave? I was sitting outside the VIP room, the big money room, handing out flyers. I had my gear bag open, my laptop and stuff just sitting there chilling on the shelf. They were like, "Hey, you look like you do something important." I'm like, "Oh, I do a couple things, but hey, man, check this out." Either way.
Hey, if you want your name to be known, come on my podcast. Hand them like that.
No, it wasn't flyers for that. It was flyers for a wrestling show.
Oh, okay. I got you.
There we go. We got the whole studio view now.
Yeah,
I love it.
I had to told you I was having to fix that. So,
yep. Cole McAbee chimed in. Ron, Scott, Popston, haven't met Marie. Hi, Marie. He said, "I'm Cole, a nobody in the wrestling business." That's crap. Majestic.
But from what I heard, you could sure dance around that pole in your younger days, though. I'm just saying.
Oh my God! Let's not start that again.
We're not.
We
Love
got to
you, Cole.
avoid that one. Oh man, Gary Penfield chimed in. What's up, sir? That's the owner promoter of HVW.
Piper.
Let's see here. You got Cole is the owner promoter of Pro Wrestling Union. Let's see, Diana McGeorge. What's up, Minnie? And then Bill Hazelwood chimed in to say Ron has made it to the big time. Oh Lord, what's up, Mr. Hazelwood? We got another guest jumping in. Here we go. HBT, where are you from, brother?
Hey,
Yo, what's
Harry.
up, man?
Hi.
Cleveland, South Carolina. Straight up wrestling show. You know what's up?
Straight up wrestling show. Lazarus Black has chimed in. What's going on, brother? Let's see here.
Laz?
We've got. Oh yeah, she said, "Hey, Mickey." She's talking to me. There's an inside joke there that we'll go over Thursday. Let's see here. Dudes at Ringside Podcast. What is up? Hell if I know. Man. But either way.
I like that name for a podcast. Dudes at Ringside Podcast. That's pretty cool. I like it.
I think they follow the Peaches and Power Bombs.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty cool guys. They had me on their SummerSlam prediction show a couple weeks ago, and we had a really good time over there. So go follow them. They're good guys.
But back to Ric Flair's last match, and man, the gate did good. What was it, 30,000 or so pay-per-view buys? I mean, that's they made some good money. StarCast, the whole event, they made some good money off that. They did a good bit of business up there in Nashville. As same with SummerSlam, they got the rub from SummerSlam, and used it to the full potential. Conrad's no idiot. Everything Conrad touches in my book is laced with money.
Yeah. The show was packed too. I mean, it there was no empty seats in the house for sure.
The other half of the Black Society, Ryan Mantis, has chimed in to say the Avengers of podcasts. That's pretty good, man. But I mean, so as far as it went, man, what have you guys been thinking the last couple of weeks when it comes to how professional wrestling's been shifted?
Huh. Man,
We're gonna start. We're gonna make the circle. We're gonna make a circle, Harry.
Yeah. All right.
Hang on.
Well, you go ahead and tell yours first, Saint. Since you're making the circle, you start now.
The hell?
He'll come back on. He probably just lost.
Yeah, he hit a button. It's been a great turnaround the last couple of weeks. The WWE's ratings going up, all the surprise returns, the returns on AEW. There's been a boatload of just talented wrestlers coming back into the fold, and it looks as though we're going to be getting further and better into more storylines and continuity. So I'm all in. Pardon the phrase.
But I mean, let's be real though. The only reason these ratings have gone up is because Triple H took the helm. Nobody wanted to see what VKM was doing anymore. Nobody. Triple H takes over. Triple H takes over, and man, it is to the moon. As
1.5 million people on Monday saw what Vince McMahon was doing. Now it's closer to 2 or over 2. Last night's Monday Night Raw was 193 or 195, 1.93, 1.97 something.
You're the large. You should have a consistent following when you're the largest wrestling company in the world, though. I mean,
yeah.
But you have what, a 25, 30% increase though. Whenever people find out, oh, Trips is running it now. Oh, let's go. Listen, I was a huge fan of Black and Gold NXT.
Oh yes,
and
definitely.
The rest, the IWC gives it some it's pretty rough on it. Talk about how bad and horrible it was, but I'm like, listen, maybe in the beginning, but everything I ever watched with Triple H over NXT Black and Gold, man, it was, in my opinion, it was good. I loved it.
I think the shift from McMahon to Triple H is, I think McMahon had more, it was more of a show to McMahon than it was wrestling, and Triple H is making it more about the wrestling than the show. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot less, background noise and a lot more about, what goes on in that squared circle, and that's what I'm enjoying. these guys are showing their talents. I mean, just the last 3 shows that Triple H has had, I mean, you're seeing these wrestlers come out and do some things that you haven't seen them do in a long time, you know?
SummerSlam was great.
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
the tractor just blew my mind.
Oh, the tractor spot
Took
killed
back
me,
to
and
the
y'all know
90s,
why.
man. Took me back to the Monday Night Wars, boy. I was loving it.
Listen,
Yeah.
I hope they can keep Brock some way somehow in his current gimmick.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Yes.
This is my favorite Brock Lesnar ever.
Yes.
Right.
He looks like he's enjoying himself.
Oh yeah. I think he's going to have a lot more freedom under Triple H.
The question becomes, does he want to stay now that Vince is gone? Vince was his boy.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a huge Brock fan, and I have been for a little while now, even when everybody else wasn't, and they wanted to say a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, look, if you look at Brock Lesnar just like as he's just this giant troll, and he's just coming out there to troll everybody, he's the best. But yeah, I'm really been enjoying this Brock Lesnar, and talking about just the whole Vince McMahon and Triple H thing. It just seems to me that company finally got the breath of fresh air that it needed, because it was just such stuck in this rut for such a long time. And as a wrestling fan, you're just sitting there like almost dreading, like, oh gosh, I gotta watch this, just to even just cover a podcast or whatever. And you're just like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to. It feels like work. It feels like a chore. And that's not how it's supposed to feel. And now I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to see what kind of changes, what directions are they taking. I'm interested in it again. And I think that's just good for the business and all the way across the board. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, it looks like they have everything's on point, man. I mean, everything making sense. They're not talking too much. The commercials are not. They're just getting in the ring, just taking care of business, and that's the way wrestling should be. And it should have you on the edge of your seats all the time, to where you going back to what Marie is saying, which I want to call you Tina, Majestic Marie. But yeah, I mean, it did. It seemed like you pretty much you go into a job. You're sitting at a meeting or whatever, and you basically taking notes so you can come back and talk about it on the podcast or whatever. Or if you try to sit there as a fan, you're saying, okay, is there something else that I could be doing? So yeah, I mean, he's changed that. So we have to see what's going to happen long term. But it seems like he has a lot of plans, and I believe he's one of these people who's going to work with a bunch of people. He's going to work with a group of people that's going to keep everything to where it's going to make sense. And so, man, I look forward to the future with WWE.
Yeah. I heard something from an indie promoter one time, and somebody will eventually tell me who said it, but I can't remember. They said, the tickets are $10 at the door. I'm going to sell you this seat for $10, but the trick of it is you only going to need that last inch of it while you're here.
Right.
Because you're going to be on the edge of it the entire time. I don't remember what promoter said it. It's been somebody in the last couple months said it to me, but it stuck with me. I've thought about it. We're going to catch up on some comments, and then we'll go to the next question, because I brought it up to Tina, and Tina had some thoughts, and I want everybody to chime in on it and let me know what y'all think. Dudes at Ringside Podcast, do you think AEW might be in trouble with Triple H at the helm? No. Everybody's got their niche market. Everybody's got their own budget. Everybody's got corporate sponsorship. No.
Can I touch on that?
Sure.
And I agree with you. But the only way AEW, I believe, is in trouble is if they try to compete with WWE.
I agree.
I agree with that too.
If they stick to their niche, like create your own narrative, like old ECW used to be, like Impact, they stick to their niche and just stay in their lane. I think they can. I think they're good. A good U.S. base, some Japan and stuff like that. But trying to get as global as WWE, I think they just need to stay back.
I like it, man. That's real damn accurate. Let's see here. Cole Maccabee stated, I got to witness the return of Karrion Kross and Scarlett live last Friday night. You felt the change of the post-Vince WWE in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, we all agree with that.
That was kept pretty hush too.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It completely caught me. Hey, and I stayed up and watched the entire episode of SmackDown, Ron. So you should be proud of me. I watched the entire episode, and when Karrion Kross came out, I hate the name. I like him as Killer Kross, but nevertheless, copyright, whatever. When I saw him, I said, "What?" And then last night, I saw Dexter Lumis, and I was like, "What?" I was waiting for Johnny Gargano. He didn't show up.
Oh,
you
man.
and me both because of
man.
where they were.
Yep.
Because of where they were, I was too.
Oh, man.
Majestic Marie probably has some inside information that we don't got.
I haven't seen anything today. Sorry.
Bring back the way. Bring him back. Bring back the way.
Yesterday they were talking about it, and there was that cryptic tweet, and then there was also what was weird was somebody did make a remark about Dexter Lumis being on the return, and then he showed up. I want to say it was like Ringside News or somebody like that said it, and then it happened. But dirt sheets are dirt sheets. You take them with a grain of salt, or in their case, a piece of dirt.
That's why I don't look. I don't read them. I don't look at them.
I don't.
If
I don't
something comes
either.
up on the screen, I scroll by. If you're a fan, you want to know. You want to be surprised. You want to see what's going to show up. If you know everything before you get there, 50 million people out there know how to wrestle. I want to be surprised. I want to know what they got planned. I want to know what's going. I don't want to know what's going on. I want to be that fan again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that was back in the day, Scott. I mean,
right?
That was great, man. I mean, you brought back the old memories of when somebody showed up and you didn't know. And so, it'd be great if wrestling went back that way, but with social media,
Triple H is kind of doing it a little bit right now, like Elliot said, with a few hush things and bringing some people back. I mean, for the first time ever, I despise 3-on-3 matches. Tag team matches, but I'm actually looking forward to this women's match. I saw the way they put this storyline together, and I'm like, even the vignettes, and I'm like, ooh, there's going to be some magic at this Castle pay-per-view. Oh, because they're going to pull out some moves. They're going to pull out all the stops, in my opinion. I hope they do.
So we're going to finish catching up on comments. I got one guest waiting to come in, and then we're gonna hit the next topic. And the next topic's a doozy. So, let's see here. What's up, guys and lady? That's enough of that one for James Roberts. Ryan Manna said that SummerSlam was a sign there's hope for all wrestling. It seems like competition produced good quality for both companies. So far as what we're seeing, people being, how rare is it for this many fans to be reacting positively, unanimously, excitement for WWE? It's been on the chopping block for so long. SummerSlam was a breath of fresh air, and none of us realized that we needed. He's very right.
Yeah.
Dudes at Ringside Podcast said, I wish wrestling was $10 in New York. And then the OG fan himself, Wesley Flasky. What's up, brother?
What's up,
all right, so that's right. Joining us right now from Critical Hit, David and Aloysius. Hey, what's up, guys?
Aloysius Skipper Jinx the third. You have to say the whole thing like Tribe Called Quest. I know, it's a mouthful.
And David Estacado here, live here. Finally, we get to work with you, esteemed, lovely gentleman and lady here. I've seen some of your work. I admire your work, and I'm glad to finally be among the best of the best in the business. Thank you.
Right on, man. Appreciate it. Well, welcome, guys. So here is the next. You guys missed the opening round, but here's the next topic. And this time we will go in an opposite order. So this time, Aloysius, you're going to answer first, and then we'll go to David, and so on. Here's the question. And Majestic already has an inkling of where I'm going with this, don't you?
Probably.
Okay.
In AEW,
all right,
do you believe that the style that they work in that company leads more into the injuries that befall their competitors?
I think so. It's a lot flippier. It's a lot heavier. You got a lot of people coming from Japan that's used to that strong style, used to just smash mouth hitting people in the face. Yeah, I feel like it is a cesspool of injury. Like it's just the injury waiting to happen. Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. I love car crashes. I love Jeff Hardy. I love Darby Allin. You know, what I mean, I like give more violence. Give it to me. That's just my take on it.
All right, David.
I would have to agree with him. Yeah, it's that gritty, grungy style, right? It's that strong style, and a lot of like you said, a lot of those guys are coming from New Japan or coming from other promotions where they have that indie, hard hitting, stiff style. And I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I'm the same way. I love it. It's that hard hitting. It looks like a fight. It looks grungy. It looks dirty. But you know what? Yeah, a lot of people tend to get hurt by it. But it all comes down to training and coming down to making sure that you're able to tell that story without hurting each other. But at the same time, it's kind of the appeal, ain't it? It's different from anything. It has that look. It kind of reminds me of going to a couple of the other indie promotions around the area where it has that indie feel, but at a higher scale, right? But yeah, I enjoy it. But you're right, it does cause for more injury.
I mean, you gotta tread differently on that one, and I'll tell you why. Because there's 2 indie shows in our area that are, out there with their production, and one of them's represented in here right now. We're not going to name names, but we're just going to keep it at that. Go ahead, Harry.
All right, man. Look, I don't like it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like watching it. I agree with Skipper and Devin. Man, it's nice to watch it. It's exciting, but you're gonna look at guys 4 or 5 years down the road here, young guys that's gonna be barely moving around that ring. I mean, it's gonna lead to injuries. There's no ins, ands, and buts about it. These guys are already being injured, and you're gonna have guys that's 24, 25 years old now. That's gonna 5 years down the road, man. They're not gonna be able to do much of anything. So the money that they're getting now, I hope they're saving it, because you're making a lot of health decisions. You're making a lot of life decisions with your health by doing this style and trying to please a certain group of fans. So, I mean, I understand that you want to give the fans the best show possible, but is it worth it? Is it worth it for your career? Do you want to have a long career like a George Soft? Somebody like Ric Flair. I'm not saying until you're 73 years old. Or, do you want to have that, or do you want to be remembered for, he was spectacular and he wrestled for 6-7 years and he went out there and, he excited the crowd, and that's what he left us with. And I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff like that. When growing up, I said Larry Bird, the way Larry Bird played basketball. They told him, the way he was playing, some of the best players told him flat out, your career is not going to last long. So he lasted 12 years when some guys lasted 15, 20 years in the league. So you really have to look at it and say, man, is this all worth it? And are they doing this for themselves? Or are they doing it for Tony Khan? So, I mean, wow. I think fans will want to see these guys a lot longer. I mean, I love Darby Allin, love what he's doing. But man, I want to see this guy 10, 15 years down the road, because I think he could be something special. What was that?
I was gonna say he's already said he don't plan on being around that long though.
No, he's not going to be around that long. I mean, but I tell you what, I believe a lot of these guys. I do think a lot of these guys want to wrestle a lot longer. I mean, I don't think. How old is Darby?
20s.
Yeah, he's in his 20s. I mean, you look at Sammy Guevara. I mean, the things that he's doing. I mean, 3 years from now, this guy's going to barely be able to walk. So, are you going to enjoy it, or are they going to be able to enjoy their life 3, 4, 5 years down the road? And I mean, so you said like, okay, I left it all in the ring and I'm happy. I mean, we know guys, and I'm sure you do too, Ron. We know guys out here on this indie scene, man, that's out here, and some of these guys, man, they have to take marijuana for pain and things like that. I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I mean, some of these guys, man, they own painkillers and all kind of things. And it's really sad. And then you see a lot of wrestlers, they might pass away early, or some of them can't deal with the pain, and then something happens to them, So, I hate to be a downer on that. As far as this style, because I enjoy what AEW does, but I think they can scale it back a little bit.
I get that. Real quick, Darby Allin is 29 years old.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Elliot.
Appreciate that.
So here's my take. These guys and women getting in the ring. Tony Khan ain't calling it in the ring. He may set up the type of match, but you see it. I mean, you see it all the time. A guy can decide what he's gonna do, and if somebody wants to jump from a ladder, go for it. I'll tell you who ain't. This guy. I ain't doing it. It's just one of those things that, all right, I've seen crazy matches in NXT. I've seen crazy matches in Impact, recent and past. I've seen crazy matches in WWE. I think AEW just kind of has a big spotlight on them right now. And I feel like that. Did they get an injury bug? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think it's strictly because of the way they run their shows. I saw the Lucha Bros and Young Bucks in a steel cage together in Chicago at All Out last year, and it was probably the best match I've ever seen in my life.
Thumbtacks in the
nuts. What's that?
Thumbtacks on the bottom of the shoe? Yes.
Yeah. It was nuts. And, I'm sure they had their bumps and bruises, but nobody got hurt. When it comes to injuries, man, injuries happen. People getting in the ring know, hey, I'm stepping in this ring, and there's a chance that I may blow my knee out. I may get a concussion. Or you know what? I may fall on my neck, and I may never walk again. That's a risk they take.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
And if that's a risk that they're taking, do I feel bad? Nah. Do I enjoy it? Absolutely. And if they're willing to, put their bodies on the line for my entertainment, all I can do is be grateful. That's it. I mean, you want to talk crazy? Let's look at GCW.
I mean, that's also a throwback to the old school ECW days too. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yep.
It was just a conversation topic.
Yeah, I'd like to piggyback off what you said. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I've been out for about a year. I haven't been able to train. Just now recently I've been able to actually be able to back to physical therapy and do a lot more. But yeah, it was a simple move can damage you, and that's what happened. My knee blew out. But I see it as opportunity because what it allowed me to do was do more of this, and work on the character and work what we do. Because either way, I'm finding work in the business, man. And you're right. We take that going into it. I'm gonna step in this ring. Anything could happen, but by the end of the night, it was worth it. We got to be a certain kind of crazy for us to do the crazy shit that we do in there, and the right amount of crazy, I believe. And it takes a lot of guts.
And that's why I stick to announcing.
Same.
Speaking of GCW and ECW, Sandman, Nick Gage, it's the same picture. It's the same picture.
Hey, you might as well put Sabu in there too.
It's the same picture.
when we let's get back around, and then I'll talk to you about that one.
Yeah, I kind of sit in the middle on this one because I can see both sides, and I kind of agree a little bit with both sides. On one hand, I can see that if you keep upping the ante like this, of course, it's going to increase the possibility of getting hurt. But on the other hand, if you go back and you listen to some of the old legends talk about how it was, they were hurt too. They just worked hurt, so nobody knew it.
Mhm.
So, with this new thing with social media and everything, and they're really not allowed to really work hurt anymore. So they have to take that step back. They have to step away for the 6 months to a year now. They can't work hurt anymore. So we all know that they're gone and why they're gone. So, I mean, Vince McMahon tore both of his quads just by climbing into the ring. He didn't even do anything but walk. So, I mean, they take a risk just by going out there. But on the other hand, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, the whole tough style violent stuff is not my thing. And I know that sounds crazy because my two favorite wrestlers of all time is Mick Foley and Eddie Kingston. So how in the world do I not like that style? I know it doesn't make any sense. That's when character really comes into play, and that's what grabs me the most. But yeah, just speaking of Mick Foley, look at how he moves around because he worked that style. I mean, he can
Listen, he went
barely
some-
walk.
But
went
he's
some about-
grateful for it every day, though.
Yeah.
Grateful for it. He wouldn't do anything different. Read any of his books. He says that in there. He wouldn't have done anything different. I'm going to swing the pendulum all the way the other way. I haven't watched AEW in a long time, but from what I've seen in here and there from spot seeing videos and things of it, name a wrestler in professional wrestling that's never been hurt. You're not going to be able to name one. You can't name one. So injuries is part of the game.
The Miz just
The
blew his
Miz.
knee out.
Miz
Yeah.
towards
Miz just
ACL
blew his knee
a year or
out.
two
Just
ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
everyone's
He made it that
had
far.
an injury at one time or another. But if AEW, and I look at it this way, if I'm a wrestler, okay, if I'm Darby Allin or somebody, and I'm in my 20s, mid 20s or late 20s, and I'm looking down and I'm looking at all these guys that they're bringing into AEW Dark, who one day are going to be looking up at the main roster. You better believe I'm going to do what I can to stay on that main roster. If you tell me to jump off a ladder onto another ladder on the outside, oh hell yeah, I'm going to do that because I want to keep my fan base and I want to keep my spot. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to do crazy things. They're going to take chances. Now I do agree with Harry. I don't like the underlying response to that is people are going to pop pills and they're going to do whatever they can to stay in it. That's the bad part of it. But there's not a wrestler in the world that's not going to do whatever they can to keep their spot. I mean, how many interviews have we all seen as podcasters where, or we're reading up on somebody and they're saying, hey, man, I'm getting back because I'm not going to lose my spot. I got to get back on TV or people are going to forget about me. And
right.
so they're going to go out and give it their best and they're going to do whatever these people tell them to do, or they're going to do outlandish things. So the eyeballs are on them. And I don't blame them because they're not going to be in wrestling forever. Not many people are going to be the, 72-year-old man who's still out there wrestling. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Or Boogie Woogie Valiant wrestling at 80. It's his 80th birthday this week.
Yeah.
I mean, those
Still
are few and far between, but for the most part, we can go back and Marie, I'll use her favorite wrestler. You go back and you look at that match that he had with Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Look at all the stuff he put himself through.
Yeah.
He volunteered for that.
Mhm.
He volunteered to be pushed off the top of that cage. He knew what was going to happen, but at the end of the day, that's one of the most talked about wrestling matches of all time. And he knows it. You know what I'm saying? He even said he's tired of talking about it.
He did so much, Scott. When he was Cactus Jack over in WCW, he did so much over there.
Right.
I didn't think he was going to have a career when he got to WWE. I mean,
you would think after that Hell in a Cell match he was done. I was sitting there thinking as a fan, man, there's no way he's coming back Monday night. There's no way he's going to come out on Raw.
One thing that I have noticed about Mick Foley is that yes, in WCW he was going crazy. He was going crazy. But when he got to WWE, it was more character work.
Right.
Yeah.
he didn't come into the WWE, straight Japanese exploding death matches.
Right.
It was a
Yeah.
few years before he got threw off that cage, if I'm not
Oh, yeah.
mistaken.
He had
It
this
was.
slow build
It
up.
was.
that was
I mean,
beautiful.
if you watch some of these wrestling matches, I could probably tell you how it goes, especially with their big tag team, Super Kicks. I keep forgetting their names. What is the tag team?
The Young
Super
Bucks.
Kick
Young
Party.
Bucks.
The Young Bucks. I guarantee you, when they have matches with other tag teams that are just as good at them, high flying, doing all the ladder stunts, the next match, it's a super kick match. They're not going to do none of the high flying stuff. They're going to do some super kicks. They're going to do a few, flipperoo moves, but they're not going to do the major stuff because they're still healing. Then a couple months, a month or two down the road, then they're going to have another big crazy match. And if you watch, that's usually how it goes.
We got
Before
Thomas.
we
Well, they
move
save
on,
it for the
can-
pay-per-views.
We got Thomas Scott here saying Terry Funk. Well, some would say Terry Funk, Ricky Morton,
Well,
George South. George South
I'm
still
gonna-
doing it.
I'm gonna catch up on comments after we get around the room. Then I catch
What's
the
the-
comments. Then we go to the
What's
next one.
Marie got?
Yeah, I want to pose a question because it's not that I completely hate this style and I don't like all the big spots or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But I do have a question because back then it was a very special time when you would see spots like that. Now we almost see it every week. What is going to be the cap on this? Because we can't just keep pushing them to keep shocking us because then they're going to be jumping off the Empire State Building onto,
I mean, New Jack basically almost did it. So
yeah. Well, I didn't watch ECW because I was 6 at the time and my mom wouldn't let me. So I don't know much about ECW, but just what's going to be the okay, this is going to be too far type.
Who was in that scaffold match with New Jack?
it was I was just now looking at this on Vice the other night, and I didn't forget.
Yeah, I didn't watch it on Vice, but it was New Jack, and they were in a scaffold match, and he was mad at the guy because the guy was the one who said it, but then didn't want to get up there.
Yeah, the guy landed on the ropes and bounced back in the ring. But New Jack was trying to throw him outside of the ring to kill him.
Yeah,
New Jack also stabbed a man.
He did. It's a true story.
he stabbed a man, or he stabbed somebody with a fork in the eye at 1.2. So
Yeah.
New Jack was just bad.
New Jack's
crazy.
got a ton of stories. He's got a
He had a ton of
a
stories,
movie type thing, a documentary type thing on one of the apps out there that you can actually watch, and he talks about his career and stuff like that. And the one where he actually stabbed the guy, that was actually part of a necklace he had, and it broke before the match, and he put that piece in his pocket because he didn't want to lose it because it was given to him by his mother or something like that. And during the match, when the guy made him mad, he remembered it was in there and he pulled it out, and that's when he started using it. It was actually it wasn't a knife or anything; it was a piece of his necklace.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
But to answer your question, Marie, so the question you pose is how do we scale it back? Is what I kind of gathered.
Right.
And I don't know that you can. And the reason I say I don't know that you can scale it back is because of how easily accessible everything is. Right? Here's what I believe should happen. I think if we don't give wrestling as much, then we can't expect as much. What I mean by that is I think 2 hours should be a cap on a show.
Oh, I agree 100%.
I think for a pay-per-view, maybe go 3. Anything over that, though, I think it's just too much.
I agree.
With that.
Whether it's, I also think 1 hour is too short for a show.
Facts.
I think an hour-long show is a waste of time.
Right.
90 minutes at least.
I'd go at least 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I think there's a happy medium. I don't, I watch AEW every Wednesday night, and I started watching SmackDown again, and I've been watching Raw again since Triple H took over and everything. And I haven't seen the quote unquote spot fest as much recently in AEW. When it comes to their main shows, now granted, they're always going to have some crazy match for a main event, whether it's a Shark Tank above the ring or whatever it
I
may
was
be.
there
like
for that.
I mean, I
That
love
Shark Tank was right above my head, and I was like, "Please don't fall."
But I just think that's their shtick, though. That's their niche,
Right.
and
Right.
I'm not gonna. I can't get mad at somebody for their niche.
I could probably speak for Harry too, because me and Harry are old school. Just put
Yeah.
two guys in there, wrestle a good wrestling match, and whoever wins wins. That's our style. But I
Yes.
can, I like. Don't get me wrong, I like the flashy too. I really do. You
Right.
can't. I mean, like we say in the indie wrestling scene, you go to an indie show, there's a little bit of everything for everybody. There's big wrestlers who can't get up off the ground. There's little wrestlers who can, jump off the ceiling. There's, and then there's wrestlers that can mangle their bodies up, one upon another. But, me, if it went back to the way me and Harry likes, like the old school Memphis days, people would be bored and they wouldn't watch any of it.
There's no doubt.
We're just being honest,
Yeah.
One thing,
It has to be a mixture. I agree.
Yeah.
It has to be a mixture with some of the new, some of the old. I kind of like what Brino is doing. Brino Royce is doing. I mean, he goes in there and he puts on a wrestling match because so many, like you said, so many people out there, they flip flopping. Not everybody does that, but one thing that as far as AEW and what like Marie was saying, scaling things back. I think they definitely need to scale some stuff back, and I agree with Elliot. I mean, as far as the 2 hours, because we used to watch 2 hours, 6:05, watching the Superstation, 6:05 to 8:05, and having an hour, and then sometimes, you have your hour and then you want some more. So yeah, it should be 90 minutes. But yeah, I mean, it's some of these things, man, these some of the things that's going on in AEW, as far as the violence go, and you say,
Scott Larson.
He's over there waving, so I'm waving back.
They have their niche crowd, but can you build off that crowd? Can you the bottom line is, Tony Khan, he wants to build his audience. He wants to bring in more fans. He wants to bring in his goal when he first came in there was to bring in the wrestling fans that stopped watching wrestling. Can he build another fan base? Can he build on his fan base with that style? I don't think he can, but I mean, I could be wrong. So, I mean, when it boils down to it, you bring in more and more wrestlers, and he's paying a lot of money. He's bringing in other wrestlers, but he continues on with that same, everybody goes in there and they say, okay, this is what I expect. In a lot of the matches that I see, as far as Dynamite, especially Rampage, I can pretty much sometimes predict exactly what's going to happen at the finish of their matches, and that shouldn't happen.
I mean, I've been doing that for WWE for about past 10, 15 years, though. So
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's the fun of it. And then they dupe you. And then they
that's
dupe
the
you
fun.
because you think you know the end, and then all of a sudden they do
Right.
a flippy do,
Yeah, sometimes they do a twist.
Yeah.
Well, we
They
saw
do
him wave, so let's all say hi to Shane. The Shane event? Shane Dorr. What's up, dude?
What's going on, Shane?
What's up, Shane?
Hello,
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going
I
on?
do not like your shirt. I am not a Cowboy fan. My apologies for your bad taste.
Well,
Haven't heard that one before.
it almost doesn't count though, because he's not from that area.
That's
Oh.
not well.
At least your team didn't change their name. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Hey, yeah, man. We didn't cave to that culture.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
Hashtag fire Schneider. I'm just saying.
I can't hear. I
Oh.
can't hear anything.
Well,
I
that's
can't.
because of it's not going through our system.
Oh, I was
You
like,
can't
man,
hear
I
us. You're
feel-
definitely deaf.
Yeah, I hear you. Especially Scott. Scott's talking.
No.
Well,
But-
hey,
Deaf and blind if you like the Cowboys, but
Go ahead,
Hey, man,
Elliot.
at least you can say I'm not a bandwagon fan. We haven't been relevant in 25 years, so
That's
There
true.
you
no,
go.
I was gonna say that we actually have to get ready for our guest on our show.
Yep.
So we're gonna be piecing out and go over some show notes and stuff real quick.
oh man, can I get 5 minutes with these guys? I want to hear what they're talking about. And gal,
Well, all right, Elliot.
what I missed?
Shane.
Give me a synopsis. Paraphrase me.
All right. The first one was
So
just.
here's what they're saying. AEW sucks. WWE rules. That's what I've heard.
All right,
No.
we're done.
whoa,
No,
whoa.
no,
No.
I
I'm just
love
kidding.
AEW. I
No
just
one
kidding.
said that.
No one said that at all.
And we're off.
I'm just kidding.
Elliot.
No, no.
Elliot. I can't believe he did that.
I only did that because of Ron and
Yeah.
and Scott and Harry are both WWE fans.
No, I don't hate AEW. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't say. Hold on, I didn't
just
say you
haven't
hated it. I said you were a WWE fan.
Scott likes wrestling.
Scott does like wrestling.
I just like wrestling as a whole.
We covered. Well, you know what? This is Ron. This is your stuff. I'll let you. I could talk.
All right.
Scott
I've got 3 hours.
You want to get Scott riled up? Just say Thomas Simpson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
Hey, that is banned. That name is banned on this show. No, sir.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag truth.
Now we cooking.
That name is banned on this show. Jesus. No.
Look at
Anyway, listen.
Scott's sweat bullets over there. He's like, oh.
I'm refraining myself. It's Saints.
Thank you.
Saints thing.
So we started off just saying how the tides are changing, and it's good to see an uprise and people are interested in wrestling again. You know, the upward trends in the ratings. That was one point, but the second point was the style of AEW versus how many injuries there seem to be procured on that show.
Well, let's not jump ahead with the ratings because we just saw Raw took a big dip in ratings for Monday night. So let's not put the let's not get all excited because of one
it's
or two
still
episodes
upward.
Here.
It's still upward in comparison to the last 6 months.
It's got a long way to go. I think WWE is in the right hands. I think even though some of us may have kind of dissipated from WWE due to the trajectory for the last 15 years, but let's just be honest, and we always hoped that next in line was going to be Hunter. I mean, I think as a fan, I think that's best for business. I think it's what we've all been waiting for. And I think the party's just getting started. I mean, we obviously see the big moves that are being made in WWE. I think that's just a sign of things to come. I think Killer Cross going back is a huge win with Scarlett, I might add. I think those two together are dynamite. On no pun intended. I think we're in for a good time. I'm excited for WWE. And I haven't said that. I can't remember the last time I said that. So I think
I put that on a post the other night. I said, "Man, I'm looking forward to Monday Night Raw." Do you know when the last time that crossed my lips? It's been a long time.
I mean, I honestly haven't watched the product probably consistently. I would say very minimum 10 years. And I mean, that's not saying I haven't caught some footage or watched it, in and out. But thank you, sir. But I think I have my interest is peaked. I'm willing to watch the show because I want to see what happens next. I'm excited.
They're leaving us with a hook at the end of every show now.
Yeah.
Bingo. Cliffhanger. Make me watch next week. Next week. That's what I want.
That car accident thing, I don't know any of you guys saw the meme I made for the car accident, but I think it was pretty decent. I think it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, Vince was pissed. He was trying to get in the arena.
Yeah. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
I don't know what type of company I'm amongst, but I did see one meme about the car crash and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I don't know.
I didn't like it. It's funny, but I didn't like it. You know what I mean?
Horrible.
I just hope he gets it together. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I just really pray that because he's one in a million. He's one of them wrestlers. He's one in a million. We need him to stay in the game.
It reminds me of those crappy memes you see people making where they're talking about somebody's kid did something bad and it's got a real stern look from Chris Benoit. That really doesn't sit well either. I don't like those at all. Those are disturbingly bad.
I'm gonna leave on this note though. I am nervous. I'm nervous for AEW right now. I'm not. And I'm hang on, that sounds better. Let me preface. I mean, I'm nervous because there's too many reports coming out about Tony's behavior, and he's a little erratic. Okay, and now I'm a huge AEW fan. Huge. What's going on?
Alois just went like this. I thought he was alluding to some booger sugar, babe.
A little bit of that Colombian Bam Bam.
Well, depending what part of the Carolinas you were in. Well, anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Hold on. While I've got you, I've got to say this.
I don't know who
You
Davin
guys
is.
have
But I
an
just heard him
ad.
laugh.
You guys have an ad on your show for a lab in Alabama. And it's so cool that it's a coffee lab because any other lab in Alabama would definitely be meth.
Breaking Bad.
Most definitely.
I mean,
Say my name. Say my name.
But let me
I love
finish.
the coffee ad.
The AEW. I'm more of an AEW fan than WWE. Okay, let's just because AEW is just that nostalgia for me. It kind of the production value and the way it runs and operates. It just seems to be like that WCW era of old, and that's okay. That's just my personal preference. But the way it's going, having too many characteristics of WCW aren't too good. If you get what I'm saying. So I'm a little nervous. They're still young. They're still in their infancy. They're still learning.
Just bring
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but a Cowboy fan is making me want to watch AEW.
Well, AEW's man. What made me fall in love with AEW are the camera angles. That's small stuff like that is what I look for. The cuts and the angles and the way it pans the crowd. Let's not forget AEW started blacking out the crowd, which now WWE's doing. That's a huge, from a production standpoint, from a visual, that's huge.
No,
Just small stuff.
They stopped blacking them out.
No, AEW started blacking them out. It's dark during the match, black.
Well, I will say this. I really think AEW's production style is American New Japan.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it.
It gives me the New Japan vibe, but
the heel face tunnels, beautiful.
Yeah.
Small stuff.
Yes.
I like that. Now, I
like
do
that.
like their stage. I love their stage.
Well, and
That I have to give.
it's so ingrained that you even have we have to head out, but
I know
it's
you
so it's so ingrained that you even have times where you have your talent, teasing. Am I going to go in this tunnel? Nah.
Small stuff, man.
I mean, Bryan Danielson comes out who is a heel, but he's not. Like, he'll come out the heel tunnel and he's getting cheers, and he'll walk right back into the heel tunnel. I mean, his last promo, he completely trashed the audience, and people were sitting there cheering for him. So.
Right.
Well, I know you guys got to go, so one more time, plug the show. And thank you again for coming on. I appreciate you guys stepping in and just jumping in for the little bit of brief time we got with you, but it's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I had to walk across the yard to get here.
So we're the Lowdown Podcast with Shane and Elliot. I'm Elliot. This is Shane. You can catch us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. on all your major podcast carriers. You can also check out www.thelowdownpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at The Lowdown Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Lowdown Podcast. And you can also support the cause at ko-fi.com/The Lowdown Podcast. And if you want any merch, go to store.thelowdownpodcast.com.
And do also check out one of the hottest professional wrestling companies in the Carolinas in Palmetto Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
Cheap plug. Just saying.
As long as you check out Icon Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
So then we're even.
You know what?
You guys know each other and don't realize it. I'm telling you.
I'm going to like it right now.
Palmetto.
That's me.
PCW.
Yes, that is you. We met before.
Yeah.
Palmetto. What y'all
guys have a
commentators
great
like
show,
on
man.
Palmetto?
That's a good question. That's a good
What's
question.
that? We don't have
I'm sorry. I hear 6 people talking at
You
once.
said
I don't know what
commentary?
question was
You
asked.
said commentary team?
Yeah, what's your commentary setup looking like?
We don't have
in
a commentary
Palmetto?
team.
Just wondering.
You don't?
You trying to
Have your people call my people.
No, but we got a
trying-
heck of a ring announcer.
trying to put himself
Sounds
in
like
the
you
cards,
need-
Elliot.
The Bad
He's trying
Boys
to-
commentary.
Trying to self-book.
Hey, you should shoot a message.
Guys,
You
love
should
y'all.
slide in those DMs. They are open.
Yeah, just slide on. Like a slip and slide, baby. We good.
For the cause, everybody. Professional wrestling.
Aloysius
There you
Slipper
go.
Jenkins III. No, Skipper. My bad.
I love it.
Hold on. Oh,
Hey, it's only fair because I gave Elliot his name of Popston.
no. Slipper Jenkins.
Hey guys,
Well.
we appreciate the time. Man, we got some exciting things happening in the next several weeks. We don't only do wrestling, but we also do movies and music as well within our show. So yeah, if you haven't listened, check us out.
Appreciate
All
you.
right.
Awesome, man.
Definitely check that
All
out.
right, time to go take care of some Mad Dog Mayhem.
Take it easy,
Right.
guys.
Take it easy, guys.
See y'all.
Later. All right. Man, those guys are a lot of fun, and their show's awesome and fun as hell, too. If you don't know about it, get with me after the show, and I'll put you on the right track. Let's catch up on comments, and then we'll go into another topic. We'll talk about something else. Here's how long ago it's been since we looked at comments. Are you ready for this? Aloysius, you earned yourself a fan with your greeting alone. Congrats. That's how long ago that's been. That's Ryan Mantis, one half of the Black Society. They are a tag team that do work in the North Carolina area as well. So.
You said Black Society, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Mantis, Black Society. Let's
Not
see.
like Sammy Guevara, though.
A lot more spots in AEW, hot spots. Yeah, this is true. Bill Hazelwood chimed in to say the problem with AEW and injuries is they're not wrestling enough. You can't wrestle 2 or 3 times a month and stay sharp at the level they need to be at or need to perform at. Back in the day, guys wrestled every day. That's how they stayed sharp. That's a hell of a point there from Bill Hazelwood. Yet another person, if you don't know, you need to. Tim Enlow said, hey, crew, that's Enlow Productions. He does some awesome photography work, if you don't know, for a lot of the wrestling and indie shows in the region.
He sure does.
Wesley Flasky, a 20-foot moonsault through the table is not necessary at a house show in Shreveport. This
To you.
is true.
But wait a minute.
Hold on.
To
15.
you.
Go ahead. Yeah, 15 fans walked out of that place, and 15 people walked out of that place becoming a fan of that guy who did that. I guarantee it. So what are you talking about? No, I disagree with that.
Right.
There are
That
some
the
things
table's
in
on fire. You got to go 100% every show. No,
You gotta commit. Commit.
Still, you got.
I don't. I disagree. Brandon Chuck Brown, he said, fellas. So, well, he obviously didn't see Tina. That's okay. What's up, Brandon?
Guys.
She's got to have a hell of a pair to being here with this group of assholes, so it's okay.
Story of my life of being a wrestling fan.
Right. Shane Odom, wrestlers are athletes. Injuries are a part of the business. Look at what happened last night when Kevin Owens tipped going up the stairs on Raw. Injuries can happen at any time.
Yeah.
This is true. Now, also, I want to bring this up. Ric Flair's last match, Rachel Ellering hurt her ankle in the opening 20 seconds of their match.
Wow.
She worked Saturday night against Camille.
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you, I was this far from it. I was literally this far from Rachel and Camille working because I'll go over that Thursday. We'll talk more to talk Thursday. Not going over today.
Let me say one thing I'm going to say one thing, then I have to go run. I'll probably come back on, but let me say one thing of what Bill, let me expound on what Bill was saying. As far as injuries go in wrestling, he said these guys only working 2 or 3 times a week. One thing, when we was in football, I look at college athletes, college football players, college basketball players, and these athletes get hurt a lot nowadays. Back in the day, you didn't. Back in the day when I played, we didn't get hurt like that because we was playing. We practiced. They cut down on the practices. They don't practice, and they're not as physical as they used to be. The practices they took a lot of physicality out of it, and I think a lot of that is what Bill is saying. It's kind of like the same in wrestling when you're not performing as much as your body is not used to it, and you end up getting injured. Because you look at a lot of players in the NBA, these guys, they take a lot of games off, and I know Scott is an NBA fan. Some of these guys, man, they'll take 15, 20 games off. Back in the day, you had Michael Jordan and, Akeem Olajuwon, all of them, they play all 82 games. You know, they 11, 12 years straight, and maybe they missed 2 or 3 games. Now these guys, you know, they get hurt, man, you know, very easy now. So a lot of that, what he's saying, man, I really believe has a lot to do. Go ahead, Skipper.
Now, Harry, this brings up a good point with even with Michael Jordan playing all 82 games, there was an off season.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
was time to rest and recuperate, and wrestling does not have an off season.
No, it don't.
I really feel like there should be like a rotation. Like you should rotate wrestlers out. And I feel like AEW does that to a point because we'll see wrestlers will just go missing. Like, they might get hurt, but it might be a minor injury, but they will go missing. And then they come back and it's like, oh shit, I forgot all about him.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my sense. It was a little bit more than
agree.
All right. Gonna be catching up on some more of the comments here. See, Tim Enlow said AEW should have taken a little from every company and seen what they can do different because they're the newest thing going, but they're saying let's get in this in that category. Each their own path, but one that's not already gutted out. That's a thought because the indie scene is overpopulated. There's way many indie shows everywhere you go. You can't drive 10 minutes down the street without hitting 2, even in a rural area. So there's that. And then when you're looking at televised stuff, if you're going to an indie show for $10, why would you want to go to an indie show with brighter lights for $50? You know, I think that's the comparison he was going for. That's also a statement I've made in the past. AEW to me looks like a rock party. It looks like a rock concert.
And you never know what you're going to get at them indie shows, because I went to one right outside of Atlanta, paid $15, and had Kenny Omega pass me right here. So you never know what you're going to get when you go.
Right. See here, Wesley chimed in. Guaranteed contract should have taken care of working hurt.
Yes.
I like that. That's true too. Let's see here. Thomas Scott, another promoter, chimed in. He said, hello, everyone.
Mr. Scott?
Shane Odom. Shane Odom said, look at Terry Funk. Look what he put his body through. Hell yeah. What about Ricky Morton, 66, still out here wrestling? Yes, saw it in person.
He's still getting
Saw it in person Saturday and Sunday. I'll talk about it Thursday.
But one thing you can say about these wrestlers that you're showing that are 66, that are 70, they're not out there jumping off the top of a ladder out onto the audience on another ladder. These guys are wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But every once in a while, they do pull it out, though, Scott, because I saw Ricky Morton do a Canadian Destroyer once. So
George
I did see that.
South.
I did see that, and it was awesome. But what I'm
George
saying
South just did a death match.
Yeah.
George South just did a death match.
Yeah.
I've seen George South go through a Lowe's home improvement replacement door.
So, but
I stand corrected.
In AEW, man, that shocked the living daylights out of him. He's in his 60s. So, but guys, I'm gonna have to take off. And Tina, Miss Marie, great talking to you guys. And maybe Chris will join in with you in a little bit. But I'm gonna have to take off and got a few things to do. But appreciate talking to y'all, and I'll continue to listen on Straight Up Wrestling Show. And if if you're not in tune with the Wrestling Wire, the Saint, check out Peaches and Power Bombs. Check out my man #Truth, Scott Larson. And for Skipper and Davin, I don't know exactly what you guys. I don't know your podcast or whatever, but Ron can hit me up with that, Scott or somebody like that. But definitely appreciate talking to everybody, and I'll continue to listen to checking y'all guys out, man. But
it'll be me. I'll be sharing it because I seem to be the one that knows everybody, so it's okay.
All right, appreciate.
I'll hook you up, man.
He recognizes talent. It's fine. It's okay.
All right.
So to be fair, here's how this went down. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way as to how I know these guys. I met David at MomoCon. So I went down there to film a little bit of a live show, catch Brino Royce's match, and then do a podcast later in the day. Well, David and a person were doing commentary, live commentary. It was the first time I'd ever heard that at a wrestling show. So you could the whole crowd could hear the commentators. This clown is down here going, I think he busted his coccyx and stuff like that. And it was just so freaking funny. His delivery was great. And I thanked him 3 or 5 times throughout the night because he was so damn cool. And he was cool with me being there, not knowing what the hell I was doing. And then he was just like, oh, shit, okay. So I mean, we've talked, we've exchanged some ideas and stuff, and I'm like, dude, we're gonna have to get together and do some fun shit. And here we are. So
no, because I saw your setup, I saw my setup. I'm like, all right, bet. Like the more people who watch, the better. Because like he was going live, I was live, and it was just a fun show overall. It was a good show, and we're back. We are coming back next year, so that's guaranteed.
I gotta
get Miss MomoCon.
Well, you just gotta have to take a vacation and come on down. I'm gonna have to as well. I'm fairly confident in that because I had a good time, but it was a good show. Anyway, let's finish the comments and then we'll get back to the real stuff here. Let's see. Vic Grimes was who he went up against in that match.
Yeah.
New Jack. And then 187. Is that the same person? 187 and Vic Grimes? I don't know. Let's see here. The greatest ever lace him up is a babyface Ricky Morton. Let's see here. He stabbed Hunter Red, ended up bailing him out to work an angle. Vic Grimes, who is New Jack, tried to kill. Okay. Vic Grimes is who New Jack tried to kill. New Jack didn't have anything on Gypsy Joe. Never heard of him.
That name sounds dangerous.
Let's see here. Buster said they did 2 scaffold matches. First one was New Jack had to pull Grimes off scaffold. New Jack ended up cracking the back of his head. He's blind in one eye until he died. So the second time they got him scaffolded, he tased him and threw him in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gypsy Joe beat the hell out of his 70s and stabbed Hunter Red. Good Lord.
Okay.
Back in my day, we had 3 moves, a headlock, a toe hold, and a 450 splash. These kids these days take 3 flipping pile drivers and kick out at 2, yet lose via a schoolboy.
So true. I've seen plenty of those matches.
Michael King chimed in. Greetings all. 2-hour show is the way to go. Just tell good stories and dare to be dynamic.
Yep.
I like it.
Good.
I can tell you when WWE is about to go to commercial.
Every time.
Right?
Michael King said, Shane Dorr, welcome. Looking good. Shane Dorr's gone at this point. Big Hero Chris. Cowboys?
Chris! What's up, homie?
Let's see here. Shane is going to get threatened with a lawsuit now, probably. Car crash. So we're talking about the one with Dewdrop in the background on Raw, but nobody mentioned. Yeah.
Oh.
Tony Khan is this generation's Herb Abrams.
Herb Abrams.
I need some help there. And then Cole said sorry to Shane. Michael King, let's cheer for the heels. Let them boo the babies. At least they aren't yawning. There we go. David Estacado on commentary is money. I agree. I agree entirely. Y'all were talking about them taking too many bumps when they're young. Yeah, this is true. Let's see here. People are bigger, stronger, faster now, more than back then. Injuries are more frequent because they're doing more dangerous things at a faster speed. And
I agree with that.
Lastly, Rob Big Country has chimed in. What's up, sir? I finally got to meet him this weekend, Scott, but I'll cover that on Thursday. I can't go into.
I'll be watching.
I can't cross my streams, man. That's why I had to come up with 2 shows now. And then now we're doing these as like spot shows whenever we randomly want to.
I see what he did.
I segregated my world, man.
That's the Ghostbusters reference. It took a minute.
What? What was?
Ghostbusters. Or you're talking about P, but I'm assuming you're talking about Ghostbusters. Crossing the streams. That's Ghostbusters. Yep. I know pop culture.
Crossing the streams. I don't know. No, I was meaning my streams as in my video streams. I keep one for the indies and one for the big leagues. What are you talking about?
Ghostbusters, you don't cross the stream. Never mind. It's cool. Keep going. Keep going.
Wow.
I think Aloysius just showed his age, bro.
Crossing swords there.
Bruh, my gray shows my age, man.
I understood exactly what you said. Nerds unite, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm out of the loop on that one. I barely remember the original Ghostbusters movie, but then again, I barely remember what I ate for dinner.
It's terrible.
Let's see. Watching wrestling with regret about Herb Abrams, UWF. You'll understand. Dude died covered in blow and baby oil, chasing a prostitute wearing nothing but cowboy boots. What a way to go!
I don't see that being too bad of a way to go.
There was a lot of people making the remark about Ric Flair dying in the ring. And I was like, that's really not how I would want to go. If I had to choose my way to go, I'll take the Tyrion Lannister route, you know? No repeating that one. We can't repeat that on air.
I remember watching that show about Herb Abrams, and believe it or not, they were even saying on there that UWF was in competition with WWE back then. And if it wasn't for him blowing his money and being the way he was, he might have gave him we might be talking about UWF instead of WWE nowadays. But
wow,
you know, he like you said, he died in a pile of blowing women. So you know, more power to him.
Well, TK, don't do that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't die for the cause. Not wrestling anyway.
Nah.
I mean, where do we go from here? Because we've already had like 2 huge topics and we're an hour and 12 into this joint. So, I mean, let's talk about who's going to hold, you know, the star power. Who's going to be the drawing power for these shows? You look at NWA and you can see what they're doing with it. You know, you got the Cardona who's out on injury. You've got Nick Aldis you can always rely on. Thomas Latimer is a phenomenal talent who can, in my opinion, he's a great draw, even though, you know, he's British, but I won't hold it against him.
Is nobody going to mention the TV champion not one time for NWA?
Who?
Tyrus.
He's on Fox News all the time holding his belt.
Matter.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, come on, man. He is still a great wrestler. I'm sorry.
He's a good wrestler, and he's not a dumb person. I like the guy.
No,
he's a very intelligent man, but it's weird to me that that's what he does with the belt. It's cool, do what you do, but you know,
I'm a huge Fox watcher, so but yeah. I do watch NWA too, and I love it. I think it's great. I think it puts NWA. It's a free commercial for NWA every time he wears it out on Fox. So why not?
So you mean to tell me if you didn't win a major title that you wouldn't take it to work?
Right?
I'm taking it to work. I need everybody at a shoot job to know that I am that guy. I am him.
I'm taking it to
Timothy.
I'm taking it to work. I'm taking it out to dinner. It's just me and the belt.
This Jericho real style. Wrestling forgetting it at the Applebee's.
But here you go, man. I'm a Smoky Mountain Wrestling hardcore champion. But you know, this is E-Fed's not real wrestling. But hey, I'll wear it. I'll show it on.
I get it. But so that was NWA's drawing power. You know.
Yeah.
Now you got Impact, you got Moose, you got Josh Alexander. Those are about it for your top tier there. Besides, you get some tag teams in the mix. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You know, Eddie Edwards has got some.
No, I was just about to say, you got Eddie Edwards.
There's some star power there.
Isn't Speedball in Impact right now?
Yeah, Mike Bailey's there.
I mean,
but I mean, drawing. All right, you're driving down 85 or whatever relative makes term makes sense to you. 77, that work better? I don't know. Anyway, 26. You're driving down that interstate. What name on the marquee is going to make you say, "Damn, I think I'll pull in there and go watch that show"? Because it ain't Mike Speedball Bailey. That being plastered on the marquee is not going to make me pull off the interstate.
I get what you're saying.
A Thomas Latimer, I'm probably going to look up and see how much. A Nick Aldis, I'm going to look and see how much. But, you know, Josh Alexander. I'm going to look to see how much because I think the dude's phenomenal worker, got a great look. He's the total package in my book, and he can talk. A lot of people didn't believe it, but he can actually talk.
So what do you think of the model's gimmick? I got to ask.
We'll get to that next. We'll get to that next.
Okay.
I got a great meme for that. I just haven't made it yet. And I'll go ahead and tell you the meme, and then it'll be funnier later.
Lucky, be multi-talented, good-looking, gorgeous with a mouth of velour mouth, and just multi-talented. I like the cut of these guys' jib. That's all I'm saying. They're multi-talented, they're good-looking,
Right.
and they know it. They know their worth, and they're working it. And
Right.
That's what it's all about.
So, as far as drawing power, who do you feel is going to be the marquee names for AEW and WWE in that case? Coming up, upcoming names. Your established names are easy.
Huge talent pool.
I think Jungle Boy is going to be one of those. I also think that if MJF sticks around, he is going to be one of those. Jade Cargill is one of those. I don't look at her as established because she just started maybe 2 years ago, but put her on the marquee. Like, she's reaching a demographic that most wrestling companies don't even know how to reach. So I think she's going to be a marquee person. I think there's got to be one more woman. Like, there has to be a woman that steps up and becomes that person outside of Jade. Because it's always two, right? You always got two for the ultimate feud. It's like, oh, this is a big name, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Would you say Britt
Baker? Is Britt Baker still wrestling at AEW?
Yeah.
She is, but it's like
she's not a big name anymore. I mean, she used to be elite,
but she's not an up and comer. She's already that established.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Person.
I see what you're saying. Okay, she's already. Okay, I got you.
I was at Revolution this past March, and she was the only person to sell out her meet and greets. The only person.
I believe that.
I don't know, man. As far as like on the women's side for them, I'm a firm believer in legit Layla Hirsch. What's that? I can't think of the other girl's name, but isn't that other girl with who's the other? Jamie Hayter. I think Jamie Hayter is fantastic. I believe they're both excellent workers. They've got good looks. Mike, not so much because they don't get the chance to talk and promo much, but that can be done. Look at Jade. Jade's got smart Mark Sterling, which, that's how that in my estimation, that's more her mouthpiece than, because all she gets on there and says is that bitch every time into the microphone.
Well, so she doesn't have smart Mark anymore, which is not a bad thing. She actually has I can't remember his first name.
Malcolm Bivens.
Yeah, Malcolm Bivens.
Stokely Holloway is his name on AEW.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Stokes. And I think that is perfect because not only is he a great talker, you know what I mean? He delivers what he needs to deliver, but again, he's reaching that demographic that most wrestling companies haven't tapped into.
Which is
black.
Oh,
like not.
Well, I didn't know.
Funny, it's black. Like black people, like regular black people. Like, I have shown non-wrestling fans Stokely stuff, and they're like, "Oh, this is hilarious." I've shown non-wrestling fans Jade Cargill, and who is that? The baddies. The baddies. That is a term that is mainly in black culture. And for Jade to take that and make that into something and incorporate it into wrestling is reaching out to that culture that wrestling companies wasn't really touching.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. He's right.
So are they going to be the next?
I was going to mention Willow. I think Push fantastic talent. Fantastic talent, and the other answer, Diamante. She needs another shot. I feel like there's so much potential there with the feud with everybody else too.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I think Willow has a few things to work on, but she has such a likable personality that just shines through that you just gravitate towards her. And I think that she should be like the poster baby face of the AEW women's division, in
And
my
I think
opinion.
she's going there.
Yeah.
She's going there. She's just missing that one match to kind of like finally, this is what she's about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Willow reminds me of Kurt Angle. Is that weird?
I haven't seen her enough to know.
Like when Kurt Angle was a babyface, like that's the vibe that I'm getting from Willow. It's like I can wrestle, but I'm also funny. Because when Kurt Angle gets into his what is it, sports entertainment bag, he is spot on.
He is. He's that awkward funny. He's that awkward funny. Yeah.
And that's what Willow is. She's socially awkward, and it is adorable. But
that's the word. It's adorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Gotcha.
She's like kind of like a very down to earth. I think that's what really pulls through, and I think she has a big reach on the audience with that. That's the way she's got to stick. She has that innocent yet cute, funny, adorable, but it's still kick ass type of feel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch up on comments. Then we're going to do the same point on WWE wrestlers. All right. So, Patrice Johnson, hey, made it. Cool. Welcome. Let's see here. I thought you were talking about Tully Blanchard. No, not talking about Tully. I can think of one guy that takes his titles to his shoot job, but he's their promoter too. So there's that. Oh God. You just decreased the audience intelligence by bringing that up. God, Brian Cage. Where's Brian Cage at? I believe he's a very marketable person as well. Not a bad worker, good-looking cat. I don't see the downside unless he's got a piss poor attitude.
His arms are like pistons.
Yeah, there's one guy I think a lot of people say probably a little overrated much, but Danhausen, I think has a great gimmick and has a great like he has the funny gimmick, but he can also wrestle. I think he has a lot of potential too. And now that they're finally using him more, I love it.
Gotcha.
And
have date nights with the belt.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Right.
Isn't that right, Belty? I love you, Belty.
In the restaurant.
Talking about Danhausen, he has that ability of reaching people outside of the wrestling community too, because his YouTube channel is insane. Because he does a little bit of everything. I've seen videos of him just doing like video game stuff, but he's got his full gimmick on and doing it in character. So he's like sitting there playing Ninja Turtles and going, "Oh no, I died!" You know, so it's really funny. He just has that ability of reaching everyone.
He was so good on Jericho's podcast. That was such a great episode. If you guys haven't heard that one, it was funny as shit.
And he's like friends with Conan.
Ricky Starks?
Yes. Neighborhood Ricky Starks.
Yep.
Ricky Starks is on his way.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Wesley's already starting on the WWE side, talking about Tommaso Ciampa. I think that's one of my main guys I'd be going for too. And then Pretty Deadly on NXT. No, I don't think so.
Really? You don't think so?
I'm not into it. I didn't care for it on UK. I don't care for it now. I preferred like Mustache Mountain, man. That was a great tag team. I thought that was good stuff to watch for WWE.
I hope they bring the Ascension back.
No,
I want to see the Triple H NXT extension.
Okay.
Ascension. I mean Ascension.
Okay.
I'm sorry, just the disdain in your voice. You're like, no.
Not into it.
I see your Mustache Mountain, and I raise you British Strong Style.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. And the OG Imperium.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait till we get to the WWE draw stuff, and then I can go on about that. Oh,
The draft is coming. Is what I heard. Is they're doing a draft either this month or next month. That is the current rumor, and I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Number one, I like the world title not being on the show every day. It doesn't need to be on every show. I think having the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title as your main points of each show, with the vignettes like they used to do with Hogan back in the day, back in the 90s. Go back to the 90s with Hogan, and you'll remember you would see a vignette with him, brother, and whatever else he would say, vitamins and prayers and lollipops and rainbows, and here we are now. But he wasn't there every week. He wasn't there every day. That made it special when you saw him, and that's what makes the attraction. You never know when he's going to show up. So whether it be on Raw or SmackDown, let's say Roman shows up to Raw this week, and 3 weeks later he appears on SmackDown. 2 weeks after that, he appears on Raw again. You see what I mean? It makes it special when he does show up, but you've split the load between both shows. I don't need to see. When you saw The Rock in Austin every night, yeah, you loved it. But at the same time, by the end of it, we were like, all right, who's next? Who else is there? You know what I mean? You get burned out on it.
I don't think I ever got tired of seeing The Rock and
I was about to say I never got tired of hearing The Rock talk.
It always felt special to me.
Every time.
I think it's just how it's done.
Yeah, because
I'm still crying for them to bring him out to beat the head of the table. I'm still crying for that. I just want him to come out.
That ain't gonna happen. But
I know what happened, but I know who will.
Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams.
Listen,
there we go.
Melo does not miss, and he is up. Okay, nope, we're not on WWE yet. We're not.
Yeah, we are. We're on WWE.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
except for Ray Dean, who's stuck on Adam Cole as king, but that's Ray. That's Ray Cole. That's his thing. That's Ray Cole
all day.
No. That's your shtick with him and Tom. That ain't me. Tom's not here, so that's Ray Cole for the night. That is Ray freaking Cole. Go ahead, Aloysius. What you got?
Ooh, almost fell out my chair.
All right. For anybody who gets the audio only of this, he did the Adam Cole boom motion. Thank you.
Okay. So we're talking WWE. Immediate shift, right? If we're talking about next year, who's going to be the marquee person? It's going to be Cody Rhodes. Like, it's going to be Cody. Like, regardless of Vince not being in power and Triple H being in power and Cody Rhodes smashing the the throne, it doesn't matter. Cody Rhodes is going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Right. They invested the money. They invested the time. They literally took everything that he made and brought it to WWE. I don't think they're going to squander it. I don't think. I've been proven wrong before. But immediately, Cody Rhodes is going to be the guy.
Okay. What do you got on women?
Shoot. What do I? Hold on. Give me a second. Y'all go first. Come back to me.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. But I do see that they're going to be utilizing. I'm going to have to agree with Aloysius that they are going to be utilizing Cody a lot more. They have to, especially after that huge match that he had. Fantastic.
All three of them.
Yeah, just back to back to back. Like, fuck. Sorry, I could curse, but damn, like he's proven his point that, hey, I did what I had to do, and now I'm coming back and I'm showing you what you missed out on. That was exactly the whole point of that, and it was great. Now, women's, there's so much talent, but this is just me being a fanboy. Nikita Lyons.
I knew it.
I'm sorry, but
I knew.
She has the look. She has the training, and come on. She has to get a push.
You're horny.
You know what? Call it whatever you want to.
You're horny.
But I mean, come on.
No, not Nikita Lyons. No,
All
I
right.
do not see it.
don't.
Majestic.
I do not see it. I know what everyone sees, and they're not seeing talent.
They're seeing
They're-
somebody who's thicker than a Snickers. That's what they're seeing.
talent. They're not seeing talent. But I digress. I think Bianca Belair is going to win everything. She is going to be a Grand Slam champion for the women. I don't care. I don't care.
She deserves it. Yeah.
If they get Sasha and Naomi back, I think they're going to position Naomi into a spot to be a draw. But I don't really see any women coming up and taking that spot. I feel like Io Sky could possibly be that person. I can see Dakota Kai maybe taking the Bailey approach. You know what I mean? Like where Bailey is now, in the lane that Bailey is in now, I can see Dakota Kai just falling right into that. But I really don't see anybody just from like NXT being next in line.
You don't think so? Okay.
I got one loaded, but Majestic, you go ahead.
Well, I'm not up on my NXT because I tried to watch it probably about 8 months ago, and I saw this girl in feety pajamas trying to go to sleep during her match, and I was like, okay, this is not for me. So
She's awesome.
Awesome.
I quit watching it. So I'm not really acquainted with the people in NXT anymore. I thought Liv Morgan had a little something going on. I don't know now. I hope it's not. I was a little uneasy about her match with Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. I knew what they were trying to do, but I had a feeling that this was going to happen because it looked very like a heelish finish on the Liv side more than it did on Ronda's side. So I was like, okay, are they going to tamper her momentum that she might have? So I don't know. I really don't know on the women's side. And the men's side, obviously, Cody's going to come back and be the person.
Well, didn't Liv come to WWE as a heel?
Hell, if I
Yeah,
can
but
remember.
she had such a good babyface momentum there for a while.
True.
Especially when she went, right when she won Money in the Bank, and they built that a little. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but
True.
I don't know.
Scott?
I agree with Cody. I mean, they brought him over. They made a big deal about it. They got to do something. They got to push him without a doubt. But I just got to throw a name out there that has got to be in the back of everybody's mind after SummerSlam and see it. Logan Paul's going to get a push somewhere. He is. If he keeps wrestling the way he's wrestling and they're popping for him, he's going to get a little push. It might not be, the WWE, heavyweight championship or universal championship, but he might, you could see him as a universal champion maybe down the line and
US
hold a
champ,
little
you mean.
gold there. US
Definitely
champion, yeah.
US Intercontinental.
Yeah,
I
Intercontinental.
can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, a little
I can see
bit.
it too.
And for the women, I agree with you. Bianca, there's nobody right now in my mind watching WWE that's going to take over Bianca in quite a while.
Yeah.
Even some of these that are coming back, even Bianca's got a following, man. Did you hear the pop during WWE, man? I mean, she came out there. There were 6 women out there, and the crowd was chanting Bianca. I mean, she even had to acknowledge it during the promo,
Right.
So yeah, she's
awesome.
the woman right now. I don't know. I
She is.
can't see anybody taking the throne from her for a little while.
All right. Bianca in her current run is already better than Bianca in her last run. I'll say that because her promo doesn't sound the same thing on repeat every week. Bianca's current gimmick, which is still the same one she's had since she's been on the main roster, is way better than her gimmick was when she came out on NXT. The shift that girl is built like a brick shithouse. Let's not play coy here. She is a built woman. She is very strong. She is very tough. She's quick. She's agile. She works very smartly. She works very intelligent, right? Her original shtick did nothing for me. I couldn't stand her character. I hated the character. I didn't care when she was on the screen. Right now, she is what's going on for the women's side of the game. Now, in the future, I'm looking at people like Gigi Dolan. Because Priscilla Kelly's been around for a hot minute. She's been around for a while. She knows the business. She's a good worker. She's got a good look. She can promo. She's definitely, devious in her promos and her deliveries. I don't see any reason why she couldn't make it to the top of the card on the women's side in the next 3 years. On the men's side, yeah, Cody's the one we can all see and we all hope for. Because right now, everybody loves Cody Rhodes. Until he's on top, then everybody's going to hate him, just like they did with Liv Morgan now, to kind of play off of what Majestic said. When it comes to other people, Karrion Kross is going to be a player. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it now. You can also see Dexter Lumis is going to have something going on. I really do believe that Kevin Owens is going to be in a lot better spot. I've never been a fan of Scott's favorite wrestler for life over there. He's the president of the Sami Zayn fan club, and I'm not an El Generico guy.
Okay. Everybody knows I love Sammy because he's a comedic genius. I'm sorry, the man's funny. The man's just down. If you don't laugh at Sami Zayn, even what he's doing right now on SmackDown with the trying to be part of the bloodline, and it's funny. It's funny. He's not the best wrestler on the card. He's not the greatest. I just say he's the greatest because it turns people's heads and make them and makes them go, what? It's a talking piece,
right,
man. It's a talking piece. But
either way, as far as on the men's side, man, there's a lot of future talent there too. Austin Theory's a pretty young cat.
Yeah,
Austin Theory's got room to grow. There's a bunch of Aloysius is clamoring about something. What you got?
Mello don't miss.
Okay.
As soon as he makes it to the main roster, I need him and Sami Zayn for 45 minutes. Instant 6-star classic. Better than any Kenny Omega match. Better than any Ibushi match. Better than anything. Oh my God. The world will implode from the magic that them two will put on. I cannot wait. Who?
I can't wait. Oh, go ahead.
Mello's money.
Ray Dean said Mello is money. Ray Cole. Ray Cole said Mello is money. Ray Cole also said Cody is definitely the guy next. I agree. Big Hero Chris said we're blinded by the yams. I said that girl was thicker than a Snickers, and I meant it. Lions is not the one. She has some nice stuff, but Bianca's the queen.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll give you that because Bianca. Whew.
Kai is garbage. I do not agree, sir. You
I do not agree with that at all.
Ray Cole, how dare you?
Did you not see what she did to Tegan Knox? Did you not see that? Was that not great storytelling?
Tegan Knox is another great one. I hope she makes a comeback.
Yeah,
I like Tegan Knox. And Zoe Stark is badass, but dude, that woman is 45 years old and still in the shape she's in, kicking ass. It's insane to me. She is unreal. I saw her, Majestic and I were talking about that. We saw her here in Spartanburg years and years ago at an NXT show. Before she was ever on NXT TV, she wrestled here.
Yep.
It was crazy. They built her from like Australia or some shit, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, it was weird.
Come on, Zoe Stark.
Yeah, seriously.
She 45? Well, she kind of.
Yes.
Now I got it.
But then now Wesley's talking about what about the girl from Charleston, South Carolina? They put her on the promo. Army, dude, you're talking about the girl who comes out in the military gear.
Oh,
I had her name a minute ago.
Lacey Evans. Nobody likes
her.
her.
Lacey Evans.
Lacey
Lacey Evans.
Charlotte ripoff. Like,
Yeah.
if Charlotte is on Raw, Lacey Evans is on SmackDown. Like, she is a spot filler to me. Yeah, you know I don't care. You know I don't care. I don't care.
We were talking about
I don't
Ciampa.
like somebody.
We were talking about Ciampa getting the push. And I have to say one thing. He's from Milwaukee, my hometown. Way to go, Ciampa. But one match I want to see on Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view, because they were awesome down in NXT just one time. Just give it to me one time. Is a Gargano versus Ciampa match. I don't even care what the stipulation is, man.
Can we have an Iron Man match, a full 60-minute Iron Man match at WrestleMania, please?
Oh, please.
Can I have that? Can I hold the pencil for WWE, guys? Let me do that one.
That'd be
Please
great.
take my money, please. I would travel. I would literally hitchhike to see that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And that point that you made, you guys, well, like that's why you support indie wrestling, because you never know who you're going to see.
That's
right.
You might just be seeing to the next best thing that's going to be out there on the main shows.
Yep. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Austin Theory wrestle around here in Atlanta. So
I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah.
Twice? Yeah, I think I've seen it twice.
Let's see here.
Cash Wheeler too.
We got a couple of people that I've trained with that I've been with who's already been on AEW or AEW Dark. And Firestar alumni Marcus Cross was on a tag team match just the other day.
Yep.
AEW and WWE. How about that in the same year? Not a lot
I'm
of
just
people
going to
say
throw
that.
a name from our area, Saint, and you guys might know him, you might not. Chase Emery. He's injured right now, but when he comes back, he's got the whole shooting shebang, man. If he's not up there at WWE, NXT, or something like that in the next 3 or 4 years, something ain't right with wrestling. I mean, this guy is that good, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
Another one we've seen locally a lot and who's been on WWE main event was Luka Daniels.
Daniels.
Good old Luka Daniels, yep.
Oh yeah. You saw Luka at MomoCon, didn't you?
Yep.
Dude's the nicest guy you ever want to talk to. Swear to Christ.
Yeah. He put some knowledge and nuggets on just life in general. So good guy.
Right.
Wesley said Maria, girl in pajamas, is on NXT now. Listen, here's the thing about. Let me tell y'all. They talking about Wendy Cho or Wendy Chu? Wendy Cho, right?
I think it's Chu, but either or.
Yeah, that one. So Wendy, we're talking about Wendy. We'll go with Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, if my wife was a professional wrestler, that would be her gimmick: the pajamas and sleeping in the ring. That's it. That's one. Number two, she's actually awesome. If you watch her match when they finally let her in, she goes bat crap crazy. It's like her napping held all the energy, and then she's just a firecracker from there out. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's actually really good.
It's a pretty cool gimmick. Like, she's slow, and then once she gets that little nap in, boom, she speeds up. It's really cute. It's adorable.
It is. It's funny as hell.
I have to head out. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks for joining us.
It was a blast. It was a pleasure and honor.
I'm definitely going to start watching your guys' show. So please send me your podcast, because I'm definitely going to start watching.
Well, it's part of what we do, man. It's what we do. It's what we promote. We promote shows. We promote promoters.
Oh yeah,
we love promoting the boys and the girls who do this. It's our passion. So it also means money. I make money. Y'all make money. It makes the world go round. So if you guys ever need anybody announcing, commentary, you know who to call. Critical Hit. We're your boys. But I'm out of here. Thank you again, everyone.
Thanks, bud. Have a good one, man.
Oh, this way.
Yeah, this way.
And don't forget to watch Critical Hit every Tuesday or Thursday. We'll put it up. Thank you.
I got you.
Deuces. I'm out.
Yep. Man. And then there were 4. The final 4 have entered the battleground. So let's see here.
Now.
It's King Cereal. There you go. Keep pushing the Mellow agenda, fam.
Because Mellow don't miss. Mellow, listen, I've been a fan of Mellow since he called Pete Dunne Skeet Dunne, because no one knows what that means. I love it. I know what it means.
What did he call him?
Skeet done.
Oh God, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why did
Because
he do that?
could. And he got
Okay.
that off on television.
Well, and then there was Drew McIntyre's remark Monday night, the tribal queef. Like, what are you guys doing?
Right.
That was funny.
Oh man.
Let's
I
see.
love it.
Cross would be perfect person to take the belt from Roman and have a title until SummerSlam. I don't know about that. That's a long ways away.
Hmm.
Let's see. I love Lacey Evans. As a heel, she's an American hero. Yeah, she is an American hero. Is Jade too small to make money with?
No.
No.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I put Jade right there with Bianca. Honestly, the TBS title is a higher belt than a woman's title. To me,
Does he
in
mean Cora
AEW,
Jade?
Because Jade has
You might mean Cora Jade
Oh, okay.
because Jade Cargill. No, I don't understand that.
If you're talking small or big, do you guys remember? I don't remember her name, but who was the first AEW women's champion?
Riho.
She was like 50 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
I mean,
she was smaller than I am, and that's saying
Right?
something.
right?
Right.
And she was beating the big wrestlers, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, okay, I believe
Yeah,
that.
so I have gone through and made sure I had an extra concussion symptom to forget the first half of AEW's women's roster ever existing. I have forgotten all of that because it was atrocious.
Hey, I get that.
I count-
take.
I just
I
hope
count-
they changed the belt.
Listen,
from the
I
last
count
time
from
saw it,
Britt
'cause that
Baker
belt was
on
like, dang.
and the TBS title on Jade on. Other than that, I don't count a damn thing that in that division before that occurred.
Please tell me they have changed the women's belt since the last time I watched it. Because the last time I watched it, it looked like
Yeah.
an egg. I mean, it was just
Yeah,
horrible.
they've
I was like,
changed
oh,
it.
thank you. Oh, I'm gonna start watching AEW again.
And I get that take, but as someone who is 5'0", I mean, Riho was our poster child of being able to get stuff done. So I
Right.
was like, yay, short girl.
It's cool. It's cool if if you build it up like they did with Mysterio. If you build it up, if you build it up to a WrestleMania type moment, that's cool. The little guy gets squashed all the way up and finally wins the belt. I get it. But she came in guns blazing, beat everybody, and she was like 50 pounds. And I'm like, where are they going with this?
Yeah. There for a while, she was beating Nyla Rose like every week.
It was like,
and that didn't make sense to me.
No, it's still that there's a whole lot of that conversation that doesn't make sense that I'm not going near. I can't do it. I'm not. No, that's
I'm glad
not.
they
That's
straightened all
type of
that
joke.
stuff out. I really am. I mean, she wasn't a bad wrestler. Don't get me wrong. She was a good wrestler, but she was just so small, man. It wasn't real.
Yeah. Let's see. Cody Rhodes versus Cross next year at SummerSlam. I don't know. And then she was a Laker girl. Her dad was in WWE. Are you talking? That's Carmella. That was a Laker girl, wasn't it?
That's Mella is money. That's the other Mella is money.
Is money.
Yeah, that's Mella.
That's Mella.
Oh man. But
I
mean,
used to like
it's
Mella back in the day, but not now. Back in the day, I did.
I mean, you need somebody who's a believable character who can get in the ring and be a viable challenger. She's got a right to gripe. So I mean, I'm not against her being in the ring.
Right.
I think she lost her shine when Enzo and Big Cass left.
No.
Yeah.
I think she lost her shine. I think she lost her shine with No Chin Pervy was there.
When he won her the money in the bank. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I think that's what hurt her more than anything was No Chin Pervy.
Yeah. No Chin Pervy.
I can't remember his name. Hey man, look, I called some wrestler the other day Pecker because I couldn't remember his name. We're not going to go into details on that one, Scott. I'll
James
talk to you.
Ellsworth.
My ears are too innocent for this.
Ellsworth. We'll go with Ellsworth.
Any
Yeah,
man
Ellsworth.
with 2 fists has a fighting chance. I love
it.
that.
That's it.
I love
He looks like he was standing in line to try to join the super kick party, and he got kicked in the jaw every time, and it just shoved back in his mouth.
Stop it.
That's what happened to him.
Stop it.
That's how he ended up
Style
there.
saved his life that one time.
He is a
He was
decent.
Oh my
guy.
God! Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's a credit to AJ, not a credit to him.
Oh no, I'm not crediting him. I was crediting it.
Oh man. Good grief.
AJ Styles, man.
AJ Styles is another one that I could see just. I know didn't he just sign another? Yeah, look at the shirt. That's right. I'm wearing an old. Yeah, this isn't a wrestling shirt. So,
AJ Styles, jeez.
but AJ Styles could so be another title player for the next 3 to 5 years.
Right.
However long his contract is. Anytime you needed to put him in the title picture, he could go.
AJ is a good guy. I mean, you can see it now. They're using him to push other people. I mean, he's that good, and he still looks good losing.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he's doing with Ciampa. Look what he did with Ciampa to help him win the United States title.
Do y'all
That
guys
was-
feel that they're going to eventually turn Ciampa face? Because that promo that he cut last night on Raw was a babyface promo.
Yes, it was. With the Harley race jacket and everything.
I
Like-
love Ciampa. I just want him to get away from the Miz. Get away
Yeah.
from the Miz, please. Get
too.
away from the Miz, please.
Yeah.
I think this is the one person that's gonna get away from the Miz and actually go somewhere outside of Daniel Bryan and Mizdow.
Yeah.
But then again,
Alex-
Mizdow didn't go anywhere because he just got caught in a perpetual, hey, let's give him shit because he knows how to make shit shine. But yeah.
And he did.
Alex-
I'll say
Alex
that. He did.
Riley was a victim of John Cena complex. He looked too good and was too built like John Cena for him to get a push. You can't have that many guys looking that much of a way at the top of the card.
I don't remember him being a good talker.
His promo skills weren't the greatest, but he could wrestle his ass off.
Yeah, he can wrestle. He can definitely do the bump and feed. I just don't remember him being a good talker. I think that's why he was with the Miz, because Miz, even though he's the king of soft style, he can talk.
Yeah. Well, he's had a hell of a career. He's heading close to 15 years in it, right? The Miz has.
In my opinion, you can be the best wrestler on this planet, but if you don't have that character, that charisma, that ability to connect with people, you don't have anything. And I'm sorry, I like Daniel Garcia's wrestling, but my goodness, that dude needs a personality, because he will just look at you and go, I am sports entertainer. And I'm just like, dude, please, you need to look excited or something.
It's bad when even those two doofuses that came from NXT are outshining him on promos.
Man,
I like them though.
I don't like them at all. I'm not a fan of their work. I'm not a fan of the pinnacle of sports and entertainment. He sounds like a jackass cartoon character.
exactly. But that was their whole thing. That was their thing in NXT. Their thing in NXT was they were riffing off the Young Bucks. And then they hired them. And their name is 2.0. Come on. Like, they are sports entertainers. But in a company like AEW, which is centered around wrestling, you need the entertainment part too. And they are so good at that. And then they're paired with Chris Jericho, who is the GOAT of sports entertainment. Not going to say that he's the GOAT of wrestling, but his wrestling isn't bad either.
Right.
I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
I think he's a
I
better
went on a
wrestler than
tangent.
he is entertaining, to be honest with you. I find his in-ring work wrestling better than I do him being like his promo and all that. I find his in-ring work better. And case in point, SummerSlam, CM Punk, and Chris Jericho. That was money. And to be fair, if Jericho wins the title from Moxley, which is a possibility, it's a stupid possibility, but it's a possibility nonetheless. I believe that match for Punk would be better than Punk versus Mox. I think it'd be a better match on AEW television than it would be Mox versus Punk now. I think Mox Punk now is going to be a stupid bloodbath that's not going to have any good psychology to it. Whereas Jericho Punk is going to be a better wrestling match.
How long of a contract does CM Punk have with AEW? Does anybody know?
I don't know, but
2 years?
Big bag of money.
Because
I thought it was 2 years.
Wouldn't it just be awesome now that Vince is gone to see?
He would
CM
never
Punk
go back to
appear back in
WWE with Hunter in
Hey.
charge. That's even worse.
Why
He hated
would
Hunter more than he hated Vince.
He's
But
never going
wouldn't
back
that be a
there.
selling point though?
No,
No.
I can never see it
Fair
happening
enough.
now. There was a better chance of Punk coming back with. Oh, Wesley said it was a 3-year deal. Let's see. Let's catch up on some comments. This was talking about Carmella. She gets more beautiful with every day. Stop with the plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Let's see. That was awesome. The King, Harley Race.
I
Johnny
like
Drip Drip got away from the Miz, but he still hasn't. I mean, kind of.
Kinda.
Seth Rollins, the GOAT. Seth Rollins is another one I like to watch, man. His new style, I've said this before, I'll say it again. His new style is excellent. Way better than his old style. The gimmick's okay, but his in-ring work is impeccable now. I am a huge fan of his current in-ring style. Jericho's on my Rushmore, and he said it was a 3-year deal for Punk. We are
I
caught
just
up on
looked it up.
comments.
It's a 3-year.
Is it?
All right, guys. I
Yes.
hate to, but I'm going to have to go. This was a pleasure meeting everyone and getting to talk wrestling with everyone. I've never checked out your all's podcast, but I definitely will now. So it's just the wrestling community is so fun. Just getting
It
to
is.
come and talk from different backgrounds, different places that people have lived, and we just share this mutual bond and this mutual love for wrestling. It's a beautiful thing. And catch me on Peaches and Power Bombs every other week, I think, on Tuesday or Thursdays. And I also do watch alongs over there as well. So I will catch you guys
I can
later.
contest to that. They're awesome. Watch her.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We
Y'all
got to
have
do
a
a
good
collab show one day when we can watch something. I'm just going to shit on everything. Like, this is trash. Why am I watching this?
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, you got to have a script when you go on Tina's show, and it's 3 words are on the script, and it's don't effing cuss.
Yeah.
That's it. When you're on Majestic show, you don't cuss. I got away with a semi-dirty joke one time, and she just she went red in the face when I said it, and it was a snap reaction. We were talking about Goldberg. You remember this?
Oh, Lord.
We were talking about Goldberg. I'm sitting in my truck getting ready to go in and announce for a show, and she goes, I don't even know if Goldberg can last 3 minutes or whatever in a match. And I was like, I don't know. I haven't asked his wife. And,
Oh, snap.
and I'm still sitting there eating, so I didn't think anything of it. And I'm like, oh, crap, I'm on the wrong show. I can't talk like that here.
I love it.
I would have just left it at the giggle and let the audience figure out the rest.
Exactly.
The last 3 minutes. That's what she
Thinking
said.
man joke. There you go. There you
Well,
go.
see, no, here's the thing. I'm not dumb by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm always going to put it all the way out there. I want to make sure everybody gets it. Even the little 13-year-old who just figured out what it was for the first time, he's over there going, "Ha ha! I got that."
Like
You know.
I'm not supposed to know.
See, my show's for the kids too. Damn it!
The Saint love the kids.
Either way.
All right. Well, seriously, I have to go now. It was a pleasure, and I will see everyone.
It was nice.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Awesome.
All right. And
Before we dwindle down to zero, Saint, I want to make an official announcement on your show.
Oh,
on
God.
this show. All right. I've been holding this out. I've been, circling around it, beating around the bush. I'm going to give y'all the name of my upcoming podcast.
Okay.
That's going to be starting in January, and I'm going to give you the premise of it. Back in 2014, there was a podcast that was running that stopped running in 2014. It was called Carolina Independent Wrestling Report. And if you look it up on Facebook, you will see it. And it stopped in 2014. We were going to try to bring it back in 2019. Me and a good friend of mine, Chuck. It didn't work out, but this time I'm bringing it back. And what Carolina Independent Wrestling Report is going to be, it's basically going to be news, straight news about independent wrestling. The shows, who won the matches, no opinions. It's going to be nothing in it. It's going to be opinion. If a wrestler gets hurt or something like that, and it makes news, like we just had one happen with, with Chase Emery, there'll be an interview on there, what happened, how long you're going to be gone, to get the news out there about that wrestler. So it's all going to be about the news, and that's going to start in January. I don't know the exact date yet, but when January hits, that's going to happen. I'm going to be asking people like you, Saint, to come on every once in a while. It's going to be totally audio, by the way. It's not going to be video. Asking people like you guys to come on and share, things on in a news perspective of what is going on in your area. Like, some people have, closer to Charlotte. Some people are off to, over in here. And it's just going to be all about the news, no opinion whatsoever. And I just want to put that out there. And I appreciate you giving me the time, man.
That's cool, because our show Critical Hit is the exact same thing, but it's all opinion.
Exactly. That's
opinion. So we definitely need to get up and exchange information.
Exactly.
So when your podcast is up and running, you can have me on, because I'm the Shannon Sharp of wrestling.
There you go.
They're all over the North Carolina scene.
Yes, we're all over the South Carolina. This show is going to be nothing but North Carolina and South Carolina, by the way, because it's called Carolina Independent Wrestling Report. So it's all about Carolinas. But that don't mean I won't bring somebody from outside to give news about somewhere, else in the U.S. I mean, I'd be stupid to say no. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to be opinion based. It's going to be talking facts. So there you go. I appreciate it. I didn't mean to interrupt the show and slow it down, but
you're good. So you're not doing any video. You're just doing the audio. So you're going to be
audio.
Gotcha.
And hashtag truth is going to be the segment where I interview people inside of that. That hashtag truth isn't going away. It's just going to be the interview segment inside of Carolina Independent Wrestling Report.
Right. Now, what platform are you going to use for the podcast?
I am not using Facebook or YouTube. I'm going to be on stuff like Rumble, Spotify, any place that has.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In order to do that, you have to have what's called an RSS feed. Now, in order to get an RSS feed, you got to pay for something.
Yeah.
And you either got to pay the company I pay, which is Libsyn.
Right.
And I'm limited to 10 hours a month on Libsyn.
Right.
So I have to pick and choose my spots. This is a live exclusive for the fans of everybody out there, and I'll bring it up on the podcast so that way they know, oh, I need to go check the socials so I can see all the cool stuff that these guys do.
Right.
But when it comes to like just the Wrestling Wire itself, the Wrestling Wire is the only thing I put on the podcast now. That's why the episodes are so sporadic and spaced out. I'll burn through 10 hours in 2 weeks. You
Right.
know that because I've had
Well,
interviews.
we're 2 hours into a show right now, so yeah, of course I know.
I think my longest podcast video so far was what 4.5 hours, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Straight sitting here 4.5 hours, bro. It was fun though. I think it was Jimmy Ward and Bill Hazelwood, two guys who love to talk, and me, and I love to talk too. And all we did was talk bullshit about wrestling and promotions, and
There you go.
hell yeah.
It's fun, man. I know we were talking about AEW and WWE, but I'm all about the indies, man. I love the indies. You wouldn't have AEW or WWE or NWA or any without the indies, man. And it's just fun to watch these guys grow and to see them on the shows in our areas, all of our areas.
Right.
And for me, that's the fun. That's the fun. I mean, I've interviewed 2 people on my show. I've got 411 episodes of #Truth, and I've got 2 guys that actually made it to, wrestle in the big time. One being Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs. I interviewed him a year before he got promoted up to AEW and all that. And I love that interview. I show that interview to everybody. Whenever I try to get a wrestler on my show, that's the interview I send. Hey, if you've never seen my show, this is what it's like. And I show that because it's Powerhouse Hobbs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but yeah, these shows that we go to, and I've been taking a hiatus for the last, couple of weeks, that, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying life more now because it used to be a grind for me. I'm not going to lie. I used to run 3 days a week. Then it was 5 days a week. For almost a year, I ran almost every day. The guy that helped me do the podcast, Chuck Winchester, he actually had me booked for a year solid, like 6 days a week. Oh, wow. That's how popular that hashtag got at one time. And I'm not patting myself on the back. It was just wrestlers wanted to get their name out there. And I was obliging every one of them. You know what I'm saying? But it becomes tedious when you do it that many times.
Right.
It becomes a job after that. And that's what I was feeling.
That's why I did what I did and separated the worlds.
Right.
This is one of my pleasure shows, and right. Guys, you can always count on me to pleasure myself. So, at any rate, yeah.
I ain't going there with the 10-foot.
I know to Tony Stark. That's right.
Good stuff. Of course, we wait till the woman leaves before we get in the dick.
Yeah, then he starts getting dirty. Smart. I got you.
I thank you. But that's why I did it this way, so I could make it so that I put the WWE shows on one day, and normally you're either previewing a pay-per-view from Saturday on Sunday, or you're you're reviewing it or you're previewing it.
Right.
And that way you've got that constant itch for what they're doing.
Right.
Then when it comes to the indies, Thursday night's right before Friday, where the indies start. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
So it fit. These shows, the Tuesday spot shows that I do, whether it's the Round Table Rumble, the King Enterprises, some random stuff I have coming up later on in the month that we don't know yet. Whatever. We do this stuff just for fun.
Right.
But
and I had an argument with somebody out there when I said that, and you joke about it. I have retired more than probably Ric Flair ever did, but I have medical issues, and anybody who knows me knows that I do, and that's the reason why for so long I just kept trying to quit, and I kept getting asked back, hey, can you do this show for me? And I'm not a guy to say no. I want to push everybody, so right. I kept coming back, but. It's just to the point that everybody here has a story of how they got started in this podcasting business, and I love shows like this. Like she said when she left, she hit the nail on the head. All of us come from different backgrounds, different places. We all have different views, but we can come together and have a conversation about wrestling that we love and not get mad. I'm not going to leave this, conversation going, God, I hate Skipper over there. He has no idea what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go and watch his show because, he might teach me something about wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And I never go on a podcast without lifting them up and saying, hey, you guys are doing great. I love you watching your show, because you bring a different dynamic than I did when I was doing it. You know, you come out, Saint, and you just say what comes to your head. I can't do that, bro. I wish I could. There's just something in me that won't let me bring those words to my mouth unless I'm mad. Unless your name is Simpson or I'm mad, then I can bring those words out. But you know,
quit acknowledging that piece of shit. I don't have enough toilet paper.
But anyway, you know, and it was getting so bad. It was getting so bad, and people could realize that I wasn't enjoying myself because my rants were getting more views than my shows at one point.
Yep.
I kept looking at that going, something's not right. I just got to back up. And that's what happened. If anybody wants to know, you know, I don't want anybody out there, because I reduced my friends list from 2,100 people down to 9. I think there's 93 on my list now.
Sheesh.
So, and I'm getting people, you know, hey, why'd you, you know, take me off your list? You don't like me no more? What? Nothing personal, guys. If you watch this, it's nothing personal. I just needed a break. Come January, I'm hitting it hard. I'm going to be hitting it really hard. You're going to see commercials. I'm already working on that stuff. So
just,
you know,
well, there's other conversations to be had, apparently, from what we've understood. But apparently we'll learn about those conversations this weekend at some point. There's every time this is like the mafia. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Right.
Every time.
Wrestling is such the mafia, man.
It is.
It's exactly what it is.
Wrestling is.
And I'm finally starting to like the big shows again, WWE, because of their change. And now that you guys are talking all this AEW stuff, I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to go check out some AEW shows, catch up a little bit on the last few shows, and, you know, and maybe come on a few podcasts here and there. And you know, when you guys are doing previews or reviews or whatever, I enjoy that, man. It's something I enjoy. I just don't want to run hashtag truth the way it was before. Like I said, it was just a grind. Not to say it won't come back again way in the future, but I really want to give this news podcast a try, dude. I really.
You got one interview left in you, don't you? You got one interview left in the can that you got to finish.
Lazarus Black is who was on here earlier tonight. I need to interview him. We just had a issue with time and place.
Scheduling conflict.
Yeah, scheduling.
That's what we call that in the business. A scheduling conflict.
Or
you were double booked and you had to hot shot it.
Yeah, something like that.
But
yeah, I got that one more show to do, and then the rest of them should be audio. I'm not going to guarantee it. You know, nothing's in stone. Like, you know, we know that about wrestling, but I really want to get this show done, and I'm working on it really hard behind the scenes now, doing commercials and getting everything ready. The commercials are going to come out in December, and then I'm gonna relaunch in January. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Now, are you going to be in attendance at a particular wrestling show in October? October the 1st.
The Haliatsko? Yes.
I was making sure. Because if not, I was just gonna park my truck outside your house and wedge my arm into the.
Everybody knows me. I call my show hashtag Truth for a reason. The reason I'm not going out to a ton of shows, I just don't have the money. Inflation's killing my house. I'm on disability. I get a certain amount of money. With everything going up, I just can't afford it, bro. Gas, you know, getting paid to get in, and I've got a family that loves wrestling. I'm not the only one. I got a wife and a daughter that likes it too. So it's 3 times, you know, all that when we go out, you know, 3 times buying food, 3 times buying, you know, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's some shows I won't miss. The Billy Ruff coming up this Saturday. I'll be there out there at HWA for that one. And the Haliatsko Memorial Cup. I go there every year for that too. But yeah, I'm still going to try to get to a few shows out there. I still go to APW behind me. I'm still going to try to get out to Uprise. Still going to, you know, try to get out to I love me and you both, Saint. I don't know about Skipper here because I don't really know him yet, but we both love Cole Maccabee's show. So, you know, I'm going to Pro Wrestling Union. I'm going to try to get out there some more. Viper show. I'm going to try to get out there. HB, yeah. So, you know, I'm still gonna be there. It's just not in the same aspect. It's gonna be different. I'm gonna be there for news instead of opinion. So
Gotcha. Well, I'll at least be able to feed you the news from the shows I work.
there you go. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking, and
Right.
and you know what? When I started thinking about this, and I was thinking, man, I don't know if these owners are going to go for this. It's just an idea. I called 10 owners in one day. I got 10 yeses in one day. Yes, I'm all for this. I'll send you the information. I was shocked. I was literally like crying. I hung up the phone from the 10th one, and I was literally in tears, like, oh my gosh, I hit a jackpot again. It's weird to do that twice in wrestling. So, and I'm amazed. And I love all the wrestling shows. I don't care who you are out there. I don't care if you're in a backyard, AWL. I don't care if you're wherever you're at, man. If you run a wrestling
that
show,
backyard show doesn't count. That backyard show changes the standard for what a backyard wrestling show looks like.
We've had many discussions about that. Yes, it does. By
the way, I'll announce it again, but I'm going to share their video from YouTube on all my socials once I believe they said something was up in the main event, just kind of ended on the video.
Yeah.
So that's weird, but once I know that that's fixed, I'll be sure to share that out there.
I'm just curious, since we're talking about this, Skipper. How'd you get it? I don't know how to pronounce your first name on there. I'm not even
Aloysius. Aloysius Skipper Jenkins III. Have to say the whole thing like Trop Called Quest.
Yeah, that. How'd you get into I don't mean to take over your show, but how'd you get into podcasting, brother? I want to hear the story.
Okay, so first, I can talk. I was one of those kids who used to get in trouble for talking all the time. I'm always inquisitive. I've always had strong opinions about the things I like. So it was just natural for me to get into podcasting. David Estacado, my commentary partner, he contacted me and he was like, "Hey, I have this idea for a show where we talk about the shows that are local to us." Because all the other wrestling podcasts were talking about WWE, AEW, Impact, Major League Wrestling, Hog Wrestling, right, but nothing in our area. There was nothing covering the shows that we could get to, or the shows that we can afford. So we just started looking for shows, and we were just like, "Oh, I know these people. Let's talk about it." And it just morphed from there. If we do have a show this week, because I know Davin's going to be traveling, that's another thing. We do shows at shows. We're going to be at Dragon Con this year, so we're gonna do a podcast from Dragon Con. But if we do have a show, we're going to have TDT, the Gate City Guardian, on the show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but best frog splash in the business outside of course, D'Lo
What
Brown.
area? What area are you from? I'm just curious.
North Carolina, mainly Winston, Greensboro, Raleigh area. I do go to shows, Southern, South, Charlotte area, but mainly in those areas.
Okay. Like, was it DPW?
Yeah, DPW. I haven't made it to one of their shows yet, but a lot of my wrestling friends are on that. Do shows with that company. A
lot of them are with, Bojack and what's that? Who's their shitbag heel? Donnie Ray.
Yeah,
Donnie Ray. Raylan Albee, all them cats, bro. All them work Palmetto.
Okay.
Almost all them work Palmetto down in Columbia, and then they also work in Greenville at Turbo, Pro Wrestling Turbo.
Okay.
Turbo, yep.
So all right. So I was in Charlotte twice this last week. I was there Saturday, came home, went back Sunday for shows. I'll talk about them on Thursday, but so I get the travel part. I understand. David was at MomoCon too, and so that's Atlanta. We were in Atlanta.
And he lives in Virginia.
What part? I'm from
Um,
Virginia.
Danville. There it is.
Oh, Jesus God. Never mind. Okay, I thought he lived someplace decent in Virginia. He lives on the border of Kentucky.
Oh, don't look. Now he's not here to defend himself. Here.
I know, but it's not. Actually, Danville's not that bad. I know some good people from Danville. Wesley is tuning in. Wesley's been here watching the show from the first time I threw an episode out of the Wrestling Wire, not my previous incarnations of it. He was like, I watched the whole thing and just like, this guy who I randomly met's been here the whole time. Yeah, he's over in the Norfolk area. I'm originally from Northern Virginia.
Right.
So, but I mean, I'm here in the Carolinas now. The cool thing is, man, like where we are, we're in the mecca of it. We are
in the mecca, the hotbed. It is the best pro wrestling going down in North Carolina, and nobody knows about it, and it makes me sad. So that's another reason why I do this.
It amazes people when people like us three look up at WWE and go, that guy's from this part of North Carolina, that guy's from this part of North Carolina, that guy's from South Carolina. People just look at you and you're like, hey man, I used to watch him and then you start spitting out shows, indie shows, and they're just looking at you like
Griff Garrison.
Yep.
Yeah. Griff Garrison. Listen, I popped so hard when I seen him on Being the Elite. I popped so hard because I'm like, this kid, I've seen this kid work a match at Firestar Pro Wrestling, and now he is doing a bit with Brody Lee. Like that's amazing. That's amazing.
I have to say something though. When you were telling me about, you know, what shows you were watching, and you brought up Hog Wrestling. There's a Hog Wrestling in New York City. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, House of Glory.
That's where Ricochet came from. And I was getting excited for a second there. I was like, if you say you're from New York, I'm about to jump through this screen because you got to see Ricochet before he became popular, and I'm so jealous. But that's cool, man. That's cool.
But I do have to skedaddle.
Yeah, I think I'm about done too. My wife's been in here twice, going, "Hey, man, are you done yet?"
Right. But before
me and Zay could probably go all night, though.
Right. Before I go, I do want to plug a couple of things, if you don't mind.
Man,
Icon Pro Wrestling, September 30th. That's going to be a fantastic card. I'm trying to remember off top who's going to be on there. Rob Killjoy is going to be there. C.W. Anderson is going to be on that card as well. Then we got Let Wrestling Live, October the 8th. That's going to have JTG, Jay the God, versus Suge Dunkerton, also known as Pineapple Pete. So that's going to be a crazy match. Then it's the FWE show. That's December 10th. Brian Cage is going to be there. Carlito the Caribbean Cool is going to be there. Gangrel is going to be there, fanging and banging. So
nice.
North Carolina is where it's at.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, I'm doing commentary at all of those shows. Bad Boys of commentary. DMs are open.
Big Hero Christmas.
Griff Garrison. Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Then we got CW Anderson. Nice. Yeah, man. I got to talk to y'all about CW. Another person I met and hung out with this weekend.
Anderson.
Yo, is the HH. David Lee Rath.
David Lee Rath. I like the name.
I get it, but I don't understand. I don't understand the thing. CW gets it done in a squared circle, so that's where Brian Cage is.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Did Triple H finally get wrestler and wrestling as acceptable terms? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
And when Cody comes back, he's going to say belt.
Oh.
He already said belt, but he's not going to get fined for it this time. Right. He's not going to get fined for it this time.
There you
go. Either way, Aloysius, man, thank you, dude. We will listen. We'll be in contact. I'm gonna let y'all know some shows to come check out in the region.
Most definitely.
And Scott will tell you, we play follow the leader here because if you want good wrestling, I'm gonna put you on it.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Well,
There you go.
last but not least, please check out our show, Critical Hit, where we talk about wrestling, local wrestling, and I say my opinions, and I will tell you straight up if I think you're going to lose that match because I don't care. What are you going to do? Fight me? You're going to fight? I'm not a competitor. I'm not a wrestler. I get paid to talk. So
You're a fan.
Are you?
You're a fan.
No,
No,
he's
I'm
a
not
commentator.
No, I'm not a fan. I do work in this wrestling business, but would you dare hit a guy with these glasses on?
Oh, come on, man.
Would
You're
you
still
do
a
that?
fan underneath all that. Underneath
But
all
yeah,
that rugged exterior, you're still a fan, man.
Yeah,
Come
we're
on.
all fans. We're all fans.
Yes, 100%. I'm a ring announcer and a podcaster, brother. I fully understand.
I am a straight up podcaster. No pun intended.
Oh Lord.
Straight up wrestling show. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was the other. That was Harry who was
That was
from
Harry.
that show. Harry who
Yeah.
was here earlier. That's his show. Straight up wrestling show.
Gotcha.
You've got Scott. You got anything coming up this week we need to know about?
No, sir. Like I said, I'm off until January, but
Other than
unless me and Lazarus come together on a time, and then I will be putting that out there for my
And
last
then
hashtag truth.
I know you're doing the Billy Ruff Memorial Show. You'll be there this weekend.
Yeah, I'll be there this weekend, and then October 1st, I will be at the Haliotsko Memorial Cup.
Yep.
for
I
HWA.
think I have something to do this weekend, so I'm not going to be able to attend the Billy Ruff Show. But I went ahead and wrote it down. The moment I talked to
Well,
Gene.
that's going to be an all-day event from 2 o'clock-ish all the way to 10 o'clock. Wrestling starts at 7:30, but during the day, there's going to be fair for the
and all that
children.
stuff.
There's going to be a dunking booth. There's going to be a car show out there. There's going to be a bluegrass band playing. I know bluegrass probably isn't everybody's cup of tea, but hey, I'm going to go out there and cut a rug. Why not? We've already had it already said. I'm going to put my moo dress on and my big old hat. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna flag people down with my big old sexy legs. Yeah, we're gonna stop some people and get them at the show. So
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
I ran him out.
Oh man. Well, he had to go anyway.
Yeah.
But guys and ladies out there, anybody, be sure you tune in Thursday night for the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. I'm gonna cover the Gathering 3 that took place in Charlotte from this past weekend. It was a 4-day event. I was only there for one, but I was there for the one that had the wrestling show at the end of the night. Crazy things happened this weekend. And I can just tell you this. I never have to announce another match in my life. I never need to do it again for what happened this weekend. But you want to know what happened this weekend? You better tune in Thursday to find out.
I will definitely be tuning in. I'm going to cut out. I'm going to let you do your outro, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do for the business, man. I love watching you and everybody else on here. Keep doing it. As a fan, I love what you guys are doing. And even if it's AEW, WWE, or Indies, it doesn't matter. I appreciate watching you and getting the information out to us and even the opinions, man, because I know you are one highly opinionated man, and I love that about you, brother. So I'm going to get out of here myself, man. Again, appreciate the time.
Of course. Thank you for being here, Scott.
All right, man. I'm out.
All right. Well, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody who was here, everybody who showed up for the show. And was able to contribute. It was a fantastic show. We had a great time. We're getting ready to stop right at the 2.5 hour mark, but be sure you're tuned in Thursday night. Tales from Charlotte, North Carolina, talking about the Gathering and talking about Pro Wrestling Savage that Sunday. And if you don't know about Pro Wrestling Savage, you should have seen the news in Charlotte because it was all over the news. Man. So there's that. Don't forget, every Sunday, 4 p.m., we got the Wrestling Wire right here. You never know who the guest is going to be. Also, coming up this Thursday, after I cover what I did last weekend, we have a special interview this week. If you didn't see the announcement already, the Terror Kings are going to be on with us talking about whatever they want to talk about, because this is an interview that's been cooking since 2019, and we're just now getting a chance to get it done. So can't wait to sit down and catch up with whatever person from there shows up, be it Matt Burns himself, be it Rage Davidson under the mask. He won't say anything. He'll just sit there and kind of breathe at us. Or it could be Dalton Riggs himself. I am excited, and I can't wait for that show. So, folks, thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a great evening.